life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. You know what it is? Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another installment of Everything Plus Gaming on TSWS. I'm Lok7, your host. As usual, joining me are these two bums right next to me, Mr. Osha07, all the way from Africana territory, also known as South Africa, and Tai in Ireland. He'll be joining us soon. Sorting out. Oh, okay. He's here. He just doesn't want to show his face because he's prettier than both me and Osha's. So he's like, you know what? I don't want to be mean. Vincent Vega, always in early, nice and early. Welcome in, Vince. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Make sure to smash that like button, brother. Osha's, how are you? And what have you been playing besides immigration to the US?
I don't think I qualify, brother. That's only for former colonizers. So it's we
Oh, that's unfortunate.
we are
That's
the colonizers.
unfortunate.
We can't leave. But yeah. No, dude. Most. I've been on Clear Obscure. I'm trying to finish South of Midnight. Very very close to the end. I actually spent a lot of time there. I was
Ooh,
catching up on
you're
my
close to the end, Osha's.
no South of Midnight, not Clear Obscure.
Yeah, you're close to the end of South of Midnight.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I reckon.
How close? Do you want to get the toilet paper out? Do you want to like wipe soon, or is it going to take
No,
long?
no, it's not. Fuck,
Not that close. All right.
yeah, this guy with your innuendos.
Just
Besides
checking.
that, besides that, I was also busy with 2K24. I had to start from scratch, but I'm enjoying it actually. I'm finding from playing this, I can tell you how to make a better wrestling game, perhaps the best wrestling game. Everything is there. It's just again, just missing that little 2% to make it something unforgettable. But they've got everything in place. These guys, I feel bad that they're not getting it right. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. South of Midnight, Clear Obscure, 2K24. Did I sample anything else? Yeah, I started Robotech. Nerds will know. Mac, anyone that
Robot.
likes this will know. Yeah, it's a turn-based Mac game. It's like
I know it. I know it.
because you're a nerd. That's why.
Leave me alone. It's turn-based and there's robots. And
Yeah,
it's not just turn-based with robots. You have
nerd-based.
various mercenaries that you can pick, and they have their own like quirks to the
Yeah.
machines themselves. It's not as shallow as you're making it out to be, Oshus. It's a lot of fun. It's a very deep game.
Which one, Robotech or Mac Warrior?
Robotech. Well, I enjoyed Robotech. I
Robotech
MechWarrior
is bro. I'm a huge turn-based guy, so Robotech to me is dope as fuck.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah,
It's not clear obscure, but it's pretty nice. Raichi, welcome in.
true.
Says Robotech made a turn. Yes, they did, brother. Yes, they did.
And it's on Game
Uh,
Pass.
I got it through Steam, but okay, never mind. Ty, welcome in. How you doing? What you been playing?
I started Clear Obscure yesterday properly, and very
You're
good.
not late at all.
Very, very good game.
Hmm.
I'm still in Act One. From a graphics point of view, I think it's good in the right places. You can see it's well done. It is a game that is obviously budget focused. When you're walking through the crowds in the first, open segment, there's a lot of redesigns. Sorry, the same designs, the same characters I'm seeing over and over again.
True.
So that's there. There's a lot of blocked walls, kind of, clever tricks to kind of put all these people there to block you through. Um,
Cuts were made, brother.
yeah, cuts
Cuts
were
were
made.
made.
But this is why I think it's good because this is just smart design. When you can't do something, you have to hide it in the best way, which is kind of like my critique of Bethesda's loading screen, where I'm saying, like, why would you fade to white to let me know to load in screen when you can just,
Mhm.
like, zoom in and zoom out and have all these stars flashing around me to make it seem like I'm actually traveling through space. Like, this is what they do with whenever you see Star Wars Jedi Survivor,
Star Wars. Yeah.
or even like The Last of Us, when you're going through those, like, tight spaces, that is a loading screen, you know. So, clever. Sorry, go ahead.
Even the other Star Wars game
Exactly.
where we all made fun of. You listen, that game has lots of flaws, but the landing mechanic, when you're getting into a planet or you're leaving a planet, it's pretty solid.
Exactly. Like, it's just really it's, I don't want to say well done, but it's just clever. It's just smart. I think the game really focuses on its characters. That's what it really wants to get to, and that's very JRPG like to me, right? This group
Mm.
of people running through together. It's what is different is it starts off sad. Like, there's this kind of doom coming in the next, like, 20 minutes or so. Whereas at least with the JRPG games I play, things are either happy or things are okay, and then catastrophe happens, right?
Hmm.
But I've dabbled with the gameplay. The gameplay is fun. I can see how it can be very, very addictive. For those people who have said that, like, more games should do these kind of things, I wouldn't disagree there. What I will say there is no, not really. I think turn-based games are very varied, and we like that because they're different. Persona is different from Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is different from Club Obscure and Metaphor, etc., etc., etc.
And three, what's it? Fire Emblem as well is
And Fire
different.
Emblem as well, exactly. Because if you think about it, if we were to all go down this route of, oh, this is the next edition of JRPG games, well, then it would just become boring. Like, I think the main critique of Western games is they all feel the same way in the first
Yes.
place. So why would we
Yes.
want that? Like, I remember I was playing it yesterday and I was thinking, like, as good as this is, yeah, I actually really love the Metaforce combat system, and I don't think I need any action, elements to make me want to play it. But obviously, as Usher said as well before, like, games have done this before. Was the game again from Xbox? Blue
Lord.
Xbox. What was the game that did the action sequence as well, like Clear Obscure?
Not action sequences, but the dodge and parry.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
Dodge and Parry. Yeah.
Lost
What
Odyssey.
game is this?
Yes, Lost Odyssey. Yes.
So on
Oh.
Lost Odyssey had like a target mechanic where you can like almost like a circle, it zones in, and then you have to time it just perfectly, and that's
Hmm.
kind of like your yeah. It was somewhat like it worked very similar to that
Yeah,
dodge and parry
and
element.
Mario RPG as well. They have their own dodge mechanics, attack mechanics as well. So it's a really good system, and I hope. I'm not saying I want other developers to necessarily jump on it, but I hope to see more iterations of this in the future because it does seem fun. It's very Souls like. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I died a a good few times, man.
What?
God damn.
Hold on. It does dying a lot make something Souls like? Oh,
Yeah,
does
you see, that's
something
what
being
they'll
hard
tell
make
you.
it Souls like?
Yes,
The
I think
game
it's one.
is fucking hard. Eh? Like
I think it's one of the. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
It's not hard.
it's
It's
not
not
easy,
hard.
bro. Like I won't lie. Like for me, like there's I got stuck like fighting some random bosses, and it's not even like real bosses, but like really, really, really got my ass handed to me. And even when I go to the when I'm at those arenas, bro, like SS, they they fucking me up.
You know
Like
why I'm saying it's
messing me up.
different? Why I think it's easy. The reason why I think it's easy compared to Dark Souls, why I don't think it's a Dark Souls game. First off, there are hard games that existed before Dark Souls.
Ninja Gaiden.
There's a ton of super hard games that existed before Dark Souls.
It- I mean,
Second, w- can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
yeah,
you. Go ahead.
I mean,
Okay. Second, Dark Souls. Sorry, not Dark Souls. Yeah. Okay. Souls likes. Usually, yes, you can get used to the mechanics, right, of the boss, but the boss does not follow the exact same sequence every time. Whereas with Clear Obscure, as soon as they start one specific action, you already know what the rhythm is for your parry. Even if the boss is going to attack you 15 times after they start their first action, from their first action, you now know everything else they're going to do. With Dark Souls or Souls likes, the boss can start an action for a specific move, but midway, they'll start moving around. It's not just, oh, it's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. You now have to gauge distance and you have to gauge staggering the boss himself, him or herself, where the boss is like, I'm not really going to attack you. I haven't started yet. I'm still getting close. Or maybe I'm backing away. Maybe now that you're attacking, now I'm trying to block you and counter you and parry you, the person that's attacking. So I would say this is a very shallow game in terms of difficulty, Clear Obscure. Not to criticize it, say it's bad or anything. I'm just, I just do not agree with anyone that says this is on the level of Souls likes in terms of difficulty. It's very much easier, and
Do you,
those
you
are
know
the
where I'll
two
say that? Yeah,
reasons.
I think what's happening, what's happened here is that there is no other RPG game that I've played that's obviously that has a parry mechanic, right? And I think Souls like games, parries are very fundamental to its gameplay core. So
Yeah,
I'm playing early on, and I'm trying to fight that girl at the beach, and she's kicking my ass over and over and over again. I'm just thinking, nah, this is just a chick. Like, what's going on here?
she's
So
learning you a lesson. That's all
yeah,
that's happening, bro.
so it's not like I'm not saying it's like a Souls like game. It's just the fact that like I don't think I've died
It's
so much at the
difficult.
start. Yeah, and it's the
Okay.
parrying, it's getting all the timing correct. And I think it's a really cool mechanic. And I think it's what I think is really interesting is that like I'm sure all of us have probably thought about this kind of mechanic before at some point. I probably wondered like why don't like companies expand on this. In fact, my dream Pokemon game isn't a fully action Pokemon game. It's a Pokemon game that's interactive like Xenoblade, but also has clear, obscure
Hmm.
gameplay mechanics where it's actually more like a movie you're kind of watching, but you're also pressing the buttons to kind of
Nothing from Power World.
nah, screw that, no.
No inspiration from Power World.
No, because I think everything Power World does, Pokemon would already have like an open world Pokemon game would do already. Even Nintendo's kind of doing it a little bit, right? The new Pokemon game that they show where you can actually press buttons to tell your Pokemon to do certain things in a more active gameplay scenario. That was always my dream Pokemon game. It's just sad that Nintendo
Uh-huh.
has taking so long to do it. But yeah, Club Obscure, dope game, really fun. The story is kind of hooking me already, so yeah, I'm having fun playing that, and I'll probably play it again tonight.
All right. Good times. Good times. Fuzzy, welcome in. Fuzzy Tomato says Expedition 33 also has loading screens. That is true. But Titkus Prime says sup TSWS Gaming. I'm off of work and I got time today. Happy Monday. Oh, you got time. You got time. Them some fine words, brother. Them some fine words. Are you ready? Are you ready to brawl? Are you ready? Let's go. Ron Slasher, welcome in, says Dustborn is more difficult because it's a terrible game to play. Listen, the fact that I played Dustborn will forever scar me, right? As a gamer, I will forever be judged for it. Everyone will pretend like they don't know the context behind it, but it is what it is. It happened. All right. Fark, welcome in. Says trouble has arrived. Hello, everyone. Fark, I need you to behave yourself. Today, I need you to relax. Okay? All right. All right. But Ditka says, yes, sir. All right. All right. Get your gloves on. You know what? Matter of fact, take them off. Oh, shit. My light just fucking. Jesus. What the fuck was that? My light just fell down. Anyways, get your fighting gloves off because clearly I have mine off, right? I'm punching everything around me. Rachie says, I'm waiting for Dustborn to drop to at $20 to buy it physical. Don't. Why you fucking. Listen, fuck. If it's not aimed at me, swing away, bro. Get Oshus' ass, get Ty's ass, get everyone's ass. Just leave me alone today, please.
I have a
Please.
question on Dustborn real quick. If Dustborn 2 was going to be made, right, and let's say they actually looked at the feedback and said, okay, we kind of want to keep the jokey woke elements or whatever it is, but what do you think they need to change to actually get people on board? Like maybe people like me. Is it the gameplay? Is it the
Mhm.
story? Like, well, what is the execution here?
If what? Please
If
ask that
Dustborn
again.
2 was going to be made, like
Okay.
what is the improvement that they will do? Is it gameplay or story focus that will actually bring people in to play the game?
Honestly, I have no real gripes about the gameplay. It was a classic Telltale game, essentially. The thing that made that game unplayable for me is that it is a narrative heavy game. The narrative was broken. All the characters were punchable. Like I hated every single character. I can't think of one. Maybe maybe Pax's body, like her design. She's pretty hot, you know. Like in terms of just characters, I can't think of one off the top of my head that I actually liked. So yeah, I would say switch up all the characters and get the writing sorted, man. Get people who want to entertain, not people that want to give me a lecture.
Hmm, okay.
Because you know what? Let me even give you a good example. You can keep the lecture. You can keep the lecture, but get people from Kojima Studios. Because guess what, everyone, and Ty as well, Death Stranding is a lecture. It is a lecture game. There is heavy political like undertones and philosophical discussions that are being had and communicated through Death Stranding. But you know what they did first? They first made a story and characters that we liked. After that, you can do almost anything. Rachie says, I'm still waiting for the kinky game list from Oshus. Yeah, Oshus, you promised us a list of like the top Guna games of 2024, and you've been failing, bro.
Oh, did
It's
I promise?
because it's the good games, like the AAA games, like the Claire Obscure, and then you have the South of Midnight. These games are distracting him.
More than boobs?
Yeah, dude. Focus, Oshus. Focus up, my guy. Focus up, right? We need you to focus on the Guna games of 2024. By next week, we need the top 10, and we need like proper, meticulous breakdowns. And I will be clicking on YouTube so we can watch the trailers of said games as you tell us why this one is number 4, this one's number 3, etc., etc. All right. But Titka said I dropped AC Shadows review on my channel. Shameless plug. What's your channel? How long? How long is this review? Is it like 10 minutes or is it 3 minutes? I'm just being honest, right? Big Mad Mo, welcome in, welcome in. Says both of those are double A. Um, I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's going on, but
Maybe
yeah.
he means
Good,
maybe he
good morning,
means
bud.
Dustborn.
Oh God. Listen, we're not talking about Dustborn anymore. I'm good. 7 minutes and 35 seconds, and channel is my name. All right, but Titkus, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. We're going to talk about this Death Stranding thing, and if we can get through it before the 1 hour mark, because we have other stuff to break down, We're gonna go to your channel. Deal? Deal. All right. Oh, okay. South and Midnight Expedition are both double A. See, we can agree on that. We can agree. Uh, all right. All right. So Death Stranding 2. Before we listen to the breakdown, because uh, IGN played this for 30 hours. Ooh, this looks like Loon. No, fellas,
What's up?
does this not look like Loon from Expedition 33? The chick on the table.
I can't see her face, bro.
You barely see her. Hold on. See, look at like all the black
Yeah,
thingies,
the hair does, yeah.
the hair and the
Oh,
stuff like on her arms, the black stuff on her arms and feet.
I mean, there's a lot of like Kojima like
Feet,
esque things in
right?
that game. So like, yeah, I'm not surprised. These are fans. They're like, it's like if I gave you a game, you would just be freaking. I might as well just go buy like a Metal Gear Solid game instead of buying.
Are you arguing that Clear Obscure is inspired by Kojima,
No, I'm saying it's inspired by a lot of like contemporary games that we know because of like how,
including
yeah, like these guys are all sort of like people that worked in the industry, plus they're also people that are fans of games. So chances are there's a lot of Kojima esque inspiration, and because there's a lot of this is like just Final Fantasy, a lot of it. Like they took a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy as well. So
mm,
just like Kojima is like he's a film nut, man. Like everything that he does, it's go back to the 80s and then you will find some sort of a semblance of like what he's doing now from those movies specifically because he was like a movie buff from back then, how from like the Pliskin reference to how Snake looks like in the old covers to a lot of things. Like it's just he's a film nerd, you know, nerds.
damn, Mo is mad, bro.
Why
Talking
is
about
Mo-
Kojima trash. Okay, you know what? On that note, I'm going to open up the audio and we're going to listen to Daniel Robson from IGN. Here we go.
Of director Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding, we finally played the sequel, Death Stranding 2, on the beach. While what we've played was not the final version of the game, the playable portions demonstrated a density and completeness you would expect from a final product. Fundamental elements such as movement, dialogue, and presentation are highly integrated, and the intention to expand upon the experience that the first game delivered, no pun intended, was evident throughout. 2019's Death Stranding transcended the framework of ordinary video games by metaphorically depicting cosmology and even anthropology through the act of delivery. It was a game that challenged the idea of human connection through refreshing gameplay mechanics that fundamentally re-examined the very act of movement. To me, Death Stranding was an undeniable masterpiece that delivered a viscous flow of concepts.
This guy knows what he's talking about, right? An undeniable masterpiece. Granted, you need to put in about 10 hours or 8 for it to really start, kicking off. Definitely a masterpiece, though. Definitely a masterpiece. Jay Reezy, what's happening, dog? Welcome in. Rachie says Kojima needed to be born French instead. All right.
Now that I've played its sequel for more than 30 hours, I'm starting to
that's
realize that it may have been only the beginning.
What, Ushers?
Well, I said that's a fair comment. He is got the sensibilities of a Frenchman, incest and all.
Oh my God. All right.
Death
That's
Stranding
kidding.
2 on the beach can be seen as an attempt to take the premises of the first game to the next level, while taking the player on a journey across the border of the United States of America. Its symbolic depiction of connection feels more dynamic, yet
got a quick
less
question.
certain than its predecessor. What
Go ahead.
The When I look at the first Death Stranding game, it seems like it has a very good, solid foundation.
Yes.
People enjoy it and love it. When you look at sequels, they tend to be better, like a better version of the prequel. Some games that you won't really see a noticeable jump, but some games you will. Would you like, for example, Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2? Like, there's a huge difference between those two
Huge jump.
games. Do
Yeah.
you guys think? Because I was watching this and it looked like there's a lot more to do here. Like, this is actually what maybe what the first game should have been. Do you think that we're going to see that kind of jump in this game, or is it going to be just more of like, okay, well, this is a sequel, so I kind of expect this standard?
I think there'll be a jump in gameplay, not
Mm,
graphics.
okay.
Not graphics. Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh, Fark. All right, listen,
I mean, didn't
Oshus.
yeah, what's up?
I want to be sharing stuff. I'm gonna be sharing some stuff with you, so don't get mad. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead and respond to Ty's posit here.
Nah, like I mean, like Kojima said, like the graphics between, which he's right, the graphics between the
The PS4 and PS5 is not
is,
much there.
yeah, it's identical architecture basically. It's x86. It's the same kind of. So he said that he's not gonna do much in terms of graphics. So he's probably gonna expand the story out. Um, for those that want more gameplay, if walking is not your thing, then yeah, he's probably gonna give you more options where you're able to sort of like have more stealth missions, more combat, and all that type of stuff. But I think he's the whole thing is that a lot of that stuff is gonna be optional. If you just want to deliver packages and that's what is great gameplay to you, I think that game is probably gonna allow you to do
Yeah,
that.
Oshus.
What in heaven's name?
Do
I
you have
like
any
that.
comments?
That's pretty awesome, bro. But
But you're the one who's always shitting on Xbox. That's why this was funny.
no, it's not
Now
funny.
you like.
I just endorsed at the beginning of this program. I just endorsed Game Pass, bro. Come on, come on now. I'm
Okay.
very. I'm
All
just
right. So
like
you're.
I'm all about that balance.
All right. You're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh,
Who's the credits?
Fark Q. And there's
Fuck you.
another one. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you. Fark Q. He's in the comment section.
He's on. He's
Uh,
on. Nah, no, fuck you. He's done like stuff like this before. He's always on
mm.
point.
And he's always on Ono It's Alex's channel. Legendary Yobi. Welcome in. Says peace, love, life. What up, though? What's happening? Welcome, Yobi. Uh,
Still, that didn't
oh,
make him like
Rachie wants me to go watch French cinema. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it
cool.
to you. That'll be
Thanks.
hilarious. Um, we have our first super chat of the day. Easy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, look at that Kojima loving Texan POS on the left. Oh shit! Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Ah, just for you, dear Easy. Just for you. Hold on. Let me move my headphones. Oh, there we go. You did not lie. You did not miss on any of those counts. I will not. I will not. I will not. Not. I will not deny that. Yeah, I am a Kojima loving Texan POS on the left. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Uh, what's this? Fox says only do these edits out of love. If I didn't like you, no chance. Damn. So where's Ty's edit? Because you've never done one for Ty. Does that mean you don't like Ty, Fark is sending you a big fuck you, bro. How do you feel about that?
I'm perfectly fine, man. I don't need my face edited onto onto these days.
The tire is most like he looks
Yeah.
like what's his name, Ashton, bro. Like he doesn't need none of that thing. He
Mhm.
just he wakes up a beast. uh,
This
Like,
one,
what is this?
this one is
I don't want
striking.
edits of this.
Fark says I need a good picture of Ty.
good luck. I think I saw. I dropped you an invite on Facebook, bro. Like I doubt you ever use Facebook.
I haven't been on in years.
That's the only time
Fark,
I saw like a
Fark,
full fake photo of like Ty.
I like
That's
him too.
what.
Fark, I like him too.
Hmm.
Anyways, anyways. Ushers, this is
I can't
this
get my camera right, man. It's like it's fucking. I don't know why it's hanging. It's like keeps like. I'm gonna keep it off.
really
I really tried. It needs some. I'm actually gonna just move my whole thing to PC now, and away from my.
Zeras.
No, I think my Mac is like I don't know. It's acting up,
Dude,
especially with
who's
the
using
snap.
a Mac, bro? Come on, man. Come on.
Most
You
of
want to
America,
use a Mac?
2/3 of
Exactly, Ushers.
most
Ushers,
of the
if you want,
world.
if you no, 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 you got it right the first time. Most of America, if you want to use a Mac, ne, you know what you need to do? Get yourself a ticket, ne? Hamba.
Go to Texas. Go to
Yeah, go.
Texas.
Go to Arkansas. Go to whatever, bro. They'll
In South
have you.
Africa,
Just
bro, like
tell them you're an Afrikaner. Ne? Tell them you're an Afrikaner trying to escape.
get out of here. Get out of
Uh,
here. Get out of
farmer,
here.
farmer, like the meme from
I
back in the day. Get out of
how
here.
do I pull that off, look? Like, how do I I suppose like that would be lost. I was gonna say like Leon Schuster put on the makeup, but that's like less slapstick. That's kind of lost to everyone that's not South African.
I don't
But yeah,
know. Is whiteface illegal? I think whiteface is cool, right?
white people
Like no
don't
one's
care,
gonna.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's fine for you to do whiteface.
What
I
are
think.
slurs?
I,
Like white people, like there's no slurs for white people for a reason because they don't care. Like,
all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get back to Death Stranding. Let's go back to Death Stranding. It's getting too charged. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
What questions will this new journey of legendary delivery man Sam Porter Bridges bring, and how will they be answered? In the first game, Sam reconstructed connections between people while uncovering the truth behind Death Stranding, a mysterious phenomenon that caused disconnection between cities. Through Sam's journey of delivering supplies, players experienced movement in a way video games had not offered before, while the story gradually unfolded its views on life, death, and cosmological visions. The setting of Death Stranding 2 moves from the rebuilt UCA to the Mexican border region. The photorealistic graphics
The Mexican border, bro. Kojima, man, come on, dude, come on.
that meticulously depict Mexico's desolate land are nothing short of impressive. From the texture of the dried surface to faintly rippling sand dust and rocky mountains in the distance, the game's visuals drew me in right away.
So I saw some people criticizing this and saying, guys, when Starfield had a big open plain, people were criticizing it. Death Stranding has a big open plain. People are fawning over it. What are your guys' thoughts?
Silly.
I agree. Look, some people have earned a free pass. Like if you're Kojima, your games have earned. Like even the first Death Stranding, if it was somebody else that made that game, that would have been like a 6 out of 10 game. No one would have given that game that sort of
The
rating.
chance.
Yeah, but like Kojima has earned it through some people you give their games a chance because of the fact that dude, it's that guy. That guy made this and this and this and this, and he's making this. Let me give it a shot and see. So he will get away. He gets more leeway than a lot of other creators would have. Same in this situation where, like, for instance, yes, I agree. This is just a desolate nothing. Like, but no one is going to be scrutinizing it because Kojima is a much more focused game designer versus how they make games, let's say over at Microsoft Games or Bethesda. So he will probably add more detail that is meaningful to you, the player. Like even the first Death Stranding has so many small, intricate little details that sort of like, oh, yeah, that's clever. I didn't think of that. Like he thinks of stuff like that. So to me, there's nothing about this game that if you love Kojima, you're probably gonna like this game. Like Kojima's never made, in my opinion, a bad game. It's either you're into Kojima's games or you're not.
God damn! Oshus is spitting today. Kojima's never made a bad
Or has he? No, he's not.
game. Keep going, brother. Keep going. Don't let me stop you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but like that's about it. But like basically, I think this game is going to be exactly what we all think it is. Especially now that we've seen the first game. The first game we didn't know what to expect, and where a lot of people were disappointed is because they were expecting another Metal Gear Solid esque type thing.
Yes, I was also disappointed for the first maybe 6 hours.
Mm.
It's kind of mad.
Because like again, it takes away all the you're a spy, we're all about violence, we're trying to it's like, well, you're just a delivery man and do the delivery thing, which I think secretly he's always wanted to make a game where you can do stuff without violence, which is a very Japanese philosophy in my opinion. It's very Miyamoto-esque.
Mm,
I
true.
think
True.
I think anybody making those comparisons are just being fraudulent. It's not like I wouldn't even know how you came to that conclusion, because when you think about Skyrim, the open plains,
Starfield. not
No,
Skyrim.
no,
Start.
but what we say Skyrim, for example, first, the open
Okay.
plains meant something because when you play in the Bethesda game, there was always something happening around the corner. So it made sense, right? We all loved it for that. The problem with Starfield was it meant nothing. The open plains are not fundamental to the actual gameplay. Whereas in Death Stranding, the actual traversal from this place to this place is part of the gameplay, right? Walking and navigating through these hills and nooks and crannies. You can fall, you can damage your product. Like this is part of the gameplay. This is part of the story. So this makes
Yeah.
sense. So how they even got to that comparison is just silly. It's just that it just sounds like console war shit.
Makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it makes no sense. This is part of the gameplay. Like it is what it is.
All right. All right. Kojima has never made a bad game. God damn. Oshus, you
But
killed it.
like, he's got a good like hitting average. Like, has he ever made a game that has scored less than 80?
I
Listen,
think so.
maybe
Which
before the
I think
before
that was one that was in
before
maybe the
Metal
early
Gear.
'80s.
Yeah.
I mean, like the other, what is it? Like he just makes what Zone of the Enders. None of his games, like he just made Zone of the Enders and he made Metal Gear. And then if you go back to Police Knots, is it Police Knots? I don't even think there is a live review, but those games are all very well received. Maybe you can hate on him for the NES version of Metal Gear. Um, but God, who's gonna go review that game now and say, well, it doesn't hold up. But even for the time when that game was released, it was alright. It was. I think for when the time it came out, it was probably a 8 out of 10 game. And that's probably the weakest game he's made is the NES Metal Gear Solid from 1988 or some shit like that.
It wasn't great. That's what I'll say about it. It was not a good time.
I enjoy.
Big Bad Mo's. Oh my god.
I
Big
mean, you
Bad
can
Mo's.
get it in the remaster thing, but I mean, go compare it to gameplay wise to other games from that era. No one. This is the era like where what is it like Penguin? What was that shit there where you have to walk to the North Pole? That was peak gameplay back then, bro.
Or the cowboy shooting game. Remember that cowboy game?
Or the Duck Hunt game, bro. Like those were peak games back then. Come on. So you're telling me him making a,
An espionage game back
yeah,
then
that
with
was the
stealth
only espionage
mechanics,
game on the NES. There was nothing else.
with actual stealth and guards that we had like actual like routines and I don't know, man. You know what? You're talking me into it. You know what? The original Metal Gear Solid game for its time was a masterpiece. Cope, Seed, and no and Maul, y'all. It doesn't matter.
I'm seeing here his lowest rated Metacritic game was a game called Boktai, which is marked
Okay.
78. The next one
Nah, man,
is
it was a Game Boy game. That was some bullshit.
that's his
Like that,
game though.
It is
because it
this
needed
game, but
light. Isn't that the game that needed light to? It had some stupid mechanic where you needed like some the sensor in
was
But
it
the
apparently,
a
but
game or
apparently, they
not?
said the issue was like the gameplay itself was just repetitive, as opposed to like whatever gimmicks it had. But then I think up next is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero, which is scores an 80 Metacritic. The
Everything
game.
else,
Well, then you got Death Stranding, which is 82, and then everything after that is
yeah.
like high 80s or 90s.
That was a DS game, that Boktai game. Like it
yeah.
was like literally a pet project. I mean, BioWare made.
Kojima's lowest rated game is 78.
Yeah, I mean, like
Mm.
look at BioWare. BioWare made back in the day when BioWare was in its prime. They made Sonic RPG,
Mm-hmm.
which scored like 50 something. Like so, once in a while somebody wilds out. Because I don't even think he was. I suppose yeah, he was very tied to that
I think
franchise.
no, because Bioware can make a Sonic RPG, but was that Casey Hudson?
I think it was some of the key people like your Casey Hudson. Go check the development team. I don't remember.
I would
No, but
doubt it.
was he leading it? I think that's
Yeah,
what Ty is trying to say because Kojima
Yeah,
was leading all of these
let's
games
see.
specifically.
Yeah, but it's one game, bro. It's one game for the DS.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I still think the betting, what, 99.9% is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Who
I'm
who
just
has a
saying.
better record? Not even Miyamoto has a better record.
There's a good discussion to have, but we need like a
Miyamoto doesn't
Miyamoto
have
fan.
doesn't have a better record, but he's certainly has
He made
bigger
Sonic
hits,
3. Sorry. He,
bigger
he made
hits, and more influential.
he made Super Mario World. No, not Super Mario World. Super Mario 3, which was a ripoff, like a blade. Well, I'm sure he didn't lead the development, but yeah, his name is on that. as his creation. That's like the worst
Oh
Super
my
Mario
god!
game.
Stop it,
Oh,
Russians.
Miyamoto.
Stop
Huh?
it.
You're talking
Miyamoto,
about
Dude,
yeah.
Miyamoto.
come on.
This is
We're
when they
Um,
were
talking about
working
Miyamoto here.
on the SNES, and they needed a Mario game, so they literally took this game from Japan and like literally retrofitted it and made it a Mario game. It's the one where you actually, instead of hitting the mushrooms or whatever the things with your head, you have to actually pull them off the ground, like turnips and shit, and throw them at the enemies. Which a lot of Mario friends were like, "What the fuck? This is not Mario." But I'm sure his name is on it.
yeah, but I mean, like,
I I
Miyamoto is Donkey
I'd
Kong,
be
he's
scared.
Mario, and he's Zelda as well.
Yeah,
You know,
I'd
like
be scared to
Ocarina,
go
you can't go
see the
against
result.
Ocarina of Time. You can't go against, like, I mean, as soon as you say Ocarina of Time, as soon as you say Star Fox, as soon as you say Pikmin, like, they just, he has so many games in his catalog. And even though he doesn't direct all these games, he has a strong hand in it. For example, what was that game called? Splatoon. The team that made that game, they came with a design and a different game to him, and he said, "Garbage, go again." And they came again, and he's like, "Garbage, go again." Then the final game they presented was Splatoon, and he was like, "Perfect, make that." So like, even though he's not actually directing, he's he's doing the what's that guy called again? Sorry, Shuya Yoshida. He's doing that except with a stronger hand. And I think that's why, he's so important to Nintendo that if he retires, I think you see Nintendo stocks like drop. Whereas
Uh,
if someone like
yeah.
New Druckmann or whatever, if they retire from like Sony's fine, and no one cares.
No one cares. No one.
Yeah,
You
but
know
like,
what? Stocks might even go up when he retires.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
that's
because
true.
most people, I don't know like what this fascination with. And again, this is Last of Us fans. I'm not a. I was the fan of the first game, but I'm not like a cultist fan for that series. But like a lot of people forget that this was all Amy Hennig stuff. She headed all this stuff when she was heading like Naughty Dog. That's when they came up with all these IPs that, for some reason now, I suppose because maybe Neil was like the lead, but Amy was the Miyamoto of like Sony Studios when they were signing those games off.
Mm.
She was the person that had the vision that was not polarizing, that everybody sort of like, oh, okay, cool. We're on board with that. So I don't think like Neil Druckmann is even in the same conversation. Like, what beside Last of Us? Because Uncharted again, Amy Hennig, I'll put behind that.
Listen. We're talking about Gojima, and I will allow you to bring in Miyamoto for comparison's sake because Miyamoto is motherfucking Miyamoto, right? What we're not going to do is give oxygen to tiny little Druckmann when we're talking about Kojima and Miyamoto. We're not doing this.
But
We're
Amy
not.
Hennig is not a small little
You
insignificant.
know
She's
what? We
been
can even make space for
every
Amy.
Sony game that you love, Amy Hennig.
Sure.
She's
We can make
behind.
space for her. No doubt.
She's.
We can make
I
space.
don't even think that's an argument. Like I'll go on like yeah for that because, and again like I've seen like some really really good accounts as to
I
like
would only push back and say Yoshida, not Amy.
I would say Amy like Yoshida. It's all the Japanese stuff, like all the
No, no,
American
no,
stuff.
no, no, no.
In other stuff,
Yoshida
no.
was president of Worldwide Studios. It's all him. Like, I think one thing I've noticed is that people talk a lot about Sean Layden and praise him. I think when you had this discussion before, it's not Layden, it's not Hennen. Layden might have signed Insomniac. He might have given them the funds to do what they wanted to do. But in terms of managing the studio, in terms of the person who's saying, "Oh, God of War, okay, I
No,
think you guys should maybe throw the axe for gameplay." In terms of
but
Last of Us, make it more cinematic, whatever. It's Yoshida's that's the one that's actually managing all that stuff.
yeah, but the difference is very simple. Like Kojima writes, like right, he's
Mhm.
like same with like he's involved in the creative. He's not the nuclear test man. He's not the guy that comes to taste the cheese and says, I don't think it's ready yet. That's not him.
Cheese. Oh my God. Food
Cheese, wine,
analogy.
whatever,
All
whatever
right.
you.
Whenever we start with food analogies, and I know we're at the end. We're at the end. All right. Let's get back to the video. No. We're not doing food analogies. Next thing we're on, oh no, it's Alex's with clips. No thanks. Here we go.
Photorealistic modelling and subtle facial expressions of characters have also largely improved from the first game, and the art style creates an aesthetic that transcends mere realism, forming a powerful foundation supporting the game's surrealistic worldview and story. The part that plays in Mexico functions more or less like a tutorial, not just in terms of gameplay but also story and settings. While the first game overwhelmed players with numerous terms and settings in its early hours, Death Stranding 2 is conscious of being accessible even without prior knowledge. The game also offers a recap mode in novel style, as well as a glossary function called Corpus, showing
Recap mode is very helpful for those that want to jump in, but are feeling the pressure of like, should I go back and play the first one? I will quickly say you should probably go and play the first one. And I don't believe that a recap can properly communicate to you the entirety of what Death Stranding is,
I
in
think
my opinion.
because I was talking to a friend about this and he said the same
Yeah.
thing. But I think if you watch a strong recap that goes into the little details, that should be enough. And the only reason why I even say that is because to
What's a
the point
strong recap? What's a strong recap?
something that is not just 2 hours. I mean, like it's a 7 hours, 10 hours, 12, 13, 15, like whatever you determine it to be. But the reason why I'm
You
even
know
saying that
why?
a strong
You
recap
know
is
why I'm saying it?
preferable.
You need to play it.
Right.
The reason why is, and I'm not a Sony salesman, right? This controller also communicates the story to you. When you are trudging along a muddy road or a rocky hill, and the music slowly, right? Slowly starts coming through, and there's like a crescendo, and you've been you've been walking and trying to figure out these hills and valleys and rivers this whole time, and then it all comes in together. I feel like there's no recap that can give you the video game side of it. You can get the story of it. You can get the story of it. But at the end of the day, right, as much as I like the story behind Kojima games, you need to play the game. You need to actually walk the steps that Bridges does. Does that make any sense? Or am I being dramatic? Maybe I'm being dramatic.
Slightly dramatic, I'll say. But just
All right.
because that
All right.
while I get what you're saying, I would say for people who haven't played the first one, to have a sequel out there that is vastly superior and better and deals with all the the quality of life issues, I would say jump onto that and then get that experience from the controller that you were speaking about. There's really too many games out there at this moment
For you to
to
go back and play the first one.
yeah, just so you can play the second one. Nah, I don't have time for that. Like I really do not. So yeah, a recap will have to do. And I think for most people as well, it's gonna have to do.
But why
Because
would
also
you
also
play
also keep in mind you don't want
All
to
right.
rush the first one
So, Bill,
either, right? You don't want to like force yourself to
you
play the
don't.
first one to play the
You
second one.
don't.
So
But
what
why do you want to
The
play the
reason
second game without playing the first one?
makes no
because
sense, bro.
because the first
Why
one
would you
looks
want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 without ever having played 1 to 3?
I mean, why would you want to play Assassin's Creed 2 without playing the first one? Or Black Flag?
Yes, I agree with you. Yes, like 1 and 2 are tied up until 3. But
No, no,
from
no.
Black
But
Flag
what I
on,
mean
you
is like
can tell
you
the
could
fuck
you could
about
hop
it.
into
Doesn't
Assassin's
matter.
Creed Black Flag and you could say amazing.
Yeah, I did, but like I mean, with Black Flag, it's like the story of Edward doesn't matter anymore. Like the first 3 games were a trilogy. The whole was it not Edward? What's his name? Who's the Desmond? Yes, Desmond. Yes, Desmond's story is over within the first 3. Edward Kenway comes in number 4, and his story it's like now what is it? Obscurgo is now doing its own thing, and now they're just getting other people to do this shit. But the first 3 games are
The
like,
Templars have won, Oshus. That's what you want to say. But
yeah, like
when
what ones
Desmond
are like,
dies, the Templar, all these, you know what? In a way, every single Assassin's Creed game after Desmond dies, should you even play them? Because
that's
you're
my thing.
essentially a Templar exploring the history of the assassins. Last I remember, we were the assassins, not the motherfucking Templars. Go ahead, Oshus. Because Abstergo is the enemy. It is the
Yeah.
enemy. But here we are, all these years glorifying and working with and for the fucking Templars. Sorry, go ahead, Oshus.
No, my point is like, so it's like if you want to play Assassin's Creed today, you can jump into any game from 4. It doesn't matter. But if you played Assassin's Creed back in the day when it came out, 1, 2, and 3 were pretty tight. And the Revelation series, if like for instance, Ezio's story takes place from what is it? Brotherhood, Revelation. They sort of like feed into each other. So you sort of have to know somewhat of what happened to Ezio in Revelations and Brotherhood. That's a trilogy on its own. So you've got two trilogies. You've got Ezio's trilogy. You've got whatchamacallit, you've got Desmond's trilogy, and then everything else after that's kind of like it's throw whatever sticks at the
I
wall.
know what you're saying, but like it doesn't always map out. I think an example of that is, for example, Bioware, right? If you ask them, what's your best-selling Mass Effect game, it's Mass Effect 3. So there's a lot of people out there who didn't play Mass Effect 1 or 2. I think the next best-selling Mass Effect game is Mass Effect 2. So there's a lot of people out there who didn't play the
Oh,
first
say
one.
that again.
The best-selling Mass Effect game is Mass Effect 3, right? And then the
Correct.
next one is Mass Effect 2.
Yes, but what I'm
Yeah, the
saying to
best
you
one
is
is
if
Mass
you want
Effect
to
2,
play
hands
Mass
down.
Effect 3 without playing 1 and 2.
No, but people did, because the best-selling game was Mass
It
Effect
doesn't
3.
like yes,
Still a bad
people
move.
do a lot of
Still a
things.
bad move. Still a bad
People,
move, bro.
people have burgers with no burgers in them with just relish, and they call it a burger.
People drive with their feet. People drive with their
People
feet,
do a
and
lot
then
of things, bro.
I mean,
and then
people watch the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They didn't watch it in order.
disgusting.
They still
But at
loved it.
Fucking
least a lot
I
of
disgusting.
mean,
people.
even to the game you're talking, even sorry, not Bioware, even Dragon Age, the best selling one is Inquisition, right? But even Assassin's Creed 2 sold better than 1, Assassin's Creed 3 sold better than 2 and 1, and then you have all the other ones that are selling better. So the point is, I guess what I'm trying to say is that people don't actually really follow this. If you see a sequel to a game and the game is great, because for example, Elden Ring could have been called Dark Souls 4. You're still gonna buy Dark Souls 4. You're not gonna go to
Yeah,
3
but
and 2
but
and 1.
you have to understand, like you are just now talking about the guys that like sort of like once it's like you know when you take a snowball and you throw it down.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on. Wait, perfect. Here's
Ty,
an
this
example.
one's for
Hold on.
you.
Wait. Here's an
This
excellent
one's for
example.
you.
It
Mhm.
was 2008. People were renting and buying used games. Multiple persons played the game with the same copy. Nah, I don't. I mean that's a mitigating factor, but I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed 3. Okay, you know what, Richie? How about this year? And to you, Ushers, and also to Loke. Baldur's Gate 3 has like 15 million people played it.
Oh boy.
Did y'all play Baldur's
Okay.
Gate 1 and 2?
Yes, I
Oh
own
my.
both of those games, bro.
No, but
I
okay.
didn't
Do
play
you think
one.
most people who
I
played
played
Baldur's
two
Gate
only.
3 played 1 and 2?
No, Ty,
Okay.
to answer your
And
questions,
and do you
like
think that
most people know, huh?
do you think like it's an L on their part?
No, it's
No,
not.
Ty,
You
you're
don't
making a
understand
false
timing.
equivocation. Hold on. Ty, you're making a false equivocation. All right? Death Stranding has a singular protagonist that everyone plays as. The narrative is a singular narrative following one straight line, which is why my examples and Oshis' examples are also following this specific parameter. Now you're bringing in RPGs where you can play as different protagonists. Even Mass Effect is still kind of okay because everyone was Captain Shepard. But now when you start talking about Baldur's Gate, dude, you can play Baldur's Gate as any one of those creatures.
Okay, how about The Witcher 3? Do y'all play
What
Witcher
about
2
The
and
Witcher
1?
3?
Do people play Witcher 2 and Witcher 1?
Yes, I played Witcher 2.
I
But the
didn't.
most, I mean, The Witcher 3 sold like 50 million copies.
But
Did
that's
number
this is
2
the thing
sell
that
that
you're not
much?
getting, bro. Like this is again like the same sort of like
No, you don't get it.
this is the same
Very
argument I've had
easy.
a million
Eat me
times.
alive, bro.
Okay, when you play The Witcher 3, the first thing it does is it says, okay, how did you make this decision? How did you do
Can
this?
you
Like,
recap? Yes,
yeah,
same
you
with Mass
recap.
Effect. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying to you,
If this game, Death Stranding 2, gives me a recap at the start, then what's the problem?
no, but I asked you a question. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't asking about like the mess. You answering this question as if I was asking the five. Like, dude, there's probably like three, like let me say 2 to 5 million core GTA players.
Mhm.
But GTA is over 150 million players.
Mhm.
Something popular does not negate the core audience. And I've said this to you many times is that the core audience is what builds that love and that passion and that interest in that. And then, just like a snowball, when you throw it down a freaking hill or whatever, people things tech on and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but you've got a core that created the whole thing. And all I'm saying is I'm talking about the core, the people that play the games for what they are. And I was asking this
Okay, I
question
get you
as
now.
you. I was
I,
asking this question as you. I wasn't
no,
asking
oh
the
no, no,
PS.
I get you now. Yeah, but you see, I
I
think
said,
there's
why
two
would
types
you
of core.
play Death
But
Stranding
you see,
1?
there's two types of core. There's core fans who
Yeah.
are obsessed with Baldur's Gate, so they play one, two, three, and Witcher fans, etc., etc., etc. But there's also, I guess, core gamers who will
Yeah.
buy Assassin's Creed and Witcher and all these games, but won't necessarily go play the previous ones. So I guess in this sense, I am not a core Death Stranding fan. I just
So
don't
That's
why
play.
fine.
do you want then my question
Therefore,
is,
yeah. So
why would you
that's
want
your
to
answer.
play
Hmm.
a narrative based game made by Kojima, who just mostly makes narrative experiences that factor in things like your birthday and like small details like
The
that?
same way
Why
how I
would you
might be
want?
willing to play the new Metal Gear Solid remake, even though I think, and I don't know the story, I think every single one of them is Snake. But I would still play the remake version first because I'm not going all the way back. Now, once that remake version has captured my attention, I might go back.
Oshus, Oshus, it's over. It's over. Oshus is cooking, so hell is freezing
Oh,
over. Like it's over, bro. I can't believe Oshus is cooking today. It's all going to shit, guys. Richie says I love Warhammer 40k. I don't know all the lore.
There you go.
Fair
no,
enough.
but that's not the
Fair enough.
point.
If you have missing knowledge, Wikipedia can help you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I
All
won't.
all I was saying about the recap is that the best experience, if that's what you're looking for,
Yeah.
is to go back and play the original. And Big Mad Mo, I'm not even trying to shit on Xbox right now. I'm not trying to do that. Go back and play the original and do it with a dual sense controller. That's that's what I think is the best way to prepare yourself for Death Stranding 2. Now, obviously, going back to the video, they have the whole recap thing. You don't have to really do it. Go ahead, whatever. I'm just saying that's the best way to do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're less of a gamer if you don't do it. But let's get back to this video. Jeez, this thing is 8 minutes long. We haven't even made it to 4. All right, I'll try. I'll try and be quiet. I'll try and be quiet.
showing careful consideration for players who have not played the first game, or those who did but found it too complicated. I feel that the game design of Hideo Kojima's work often comes in 3 layers. For example, Metal Gear series gameplay consists of infiltration, danger, and stealth, while its movement can be divided into walking, crouching, and crawling. The same philosophy can also be seen in Death Stranding, where your Odradek scanning device visualizes terrain danger levels in 3 different colors. Death Stranding 2 follows the same rules. Just like in the original Death Stranding, once again the player has to manage cargo weight and balance while traversing unstable natural terrain. Footing must be secured on slopes while the center of gravity must be controlled to avoid being swept away in rapid water streams. The risk of cargo damage is present throughout the process, which makes traversing the world itself a nerve-wracking task. Constructions such as ropes and ladders can be used to traverse the world more conveniently. These infrastructures go beyond individual player experiences, as structures installed by other players are shared in the world by the social strands system. As you make use of ladders and bridges left by someone else, the solitary exercise of delivery gradually transforms into a more connected and social experience. In addition to highways, Death Stranding 2 allows the player to construct monorails too, which makes traversing its world a lot smoother. Highways and monorails require a lot of materials, forcing the player to utilize the game's mines to gather them. As a result, establishing trade routes has become more central to gameplay than it was in the first game. While traversing the world itself has become more convenient, environments have become more challenging in return. The width of rivers can double due to rainfall, and natural hazards such as earthquakes and sandstorms.
Oh, dude, come on.
The
I
width of
just want
rivers
to
can
quickly take this back to the conversation we had earlier about the Starfield comparisons and all this other rubbish. All right? There was no earthquakes in Starfield. There was no natural disasters in Starfield. All right? If comparison is what we're doing, we need to relax.
can double due to rainfall, and natural hazards such as earthquakes and sandstorms can
That's
occur.
crazy. Sandstorms as well.
As a new feature, the time of day also changes in real time, which causes additional challenges for Sam. These natural elements interfere with player
Wow.
actions in various ways, such as footing collapsing due to flooding and earthquakes, or visibility worsening in sandstorms and nightfall. The sequel also boasts more room for customization. The Porter grade indicates Sam's current proficiency in a more direct way, while skill points can be used to enhance stats and obtain new abilities. You can specialize in either delivery, movement, or combat skills. This shows that once again, Kojima is utilizing 3 layers of gameplay in which the player can tackle the game's missions and obstacles.
Oshers, hypothetically speaking, which one are you picking? You're muted. You're
Which one
muted.
am I picking?
Hold on. Let me rewind.
In which the player can tackle the
Oh,
game.
sorry, I didn't see
This
that.
shows that once again, gain new abilities. You can specialize in either delivery, movement, or combat skills.
Delivery, movement,
Um.
combat.
Oh, okay. Probably delivery, because there's a lot of other games where I can do combat stuff. I think my first playthrough, I just want to do, like, because I enjoy that part of the game. I actually find it like it's a great game to play when you just want to chill and
And relax.
hit some 420 and play some lo-fi, and then yeah, you're good, man. You're good. I
You
don't
actually don't
need.
need to play anything because
Huh?
the game's music is awesome. I'm saying
Yeah, well, I mean, when it
you
kicks in, I
don't
don't know.
need to
Like,
play
I don't know
anything.
if I've got that soundtrack thing right, but like that music takes. Sometimes you walk for freaking miles before the music kicks in. So I just play something in the background always.
You hoist something.
That's
Hey,
throw. That's throw in English. Hoi is throw.
hey, stop giving them the context. Come on. Uh, what's this? Dairy says there were gas giants in Starfield that you can't land on. Look at Loke foaming at the mouth. You disgust me, sir. My friend, my buddy, my confidant. I disgust him. Hey, man, if Kojima is the topic, get ready to throw up a lot. Look, try Snow Runner instead of this. I've seen a couple of videos on it. It it
What's
it does look interesting. It's like a delivery game, but you're like a truck driver in challenging terrain.
is that like is that the like
What?
that driving simulate thing with the trucks? Is that not
Yeah,
like Mud
yeah.
Runner? Ugh. Those games are so technical,
I,
bro. Like they're super technical. Like when it comes to maneuvering just a truck, there's like 20 different buttons just to move the truck into reverse and shit.
really?
No, it's interesting, but like it's really technical. That's the one thing about those
So it's
games.
a proper simulator.
It's a simulate. Like for instance, dude, like there's you can't just like press a button to start the car. You have to do like 3 different things. You have to, put the
Press the
handbrake up,
clutch.
clutch, literally doing a legit if and like the worst thing is you get stuck in like mud puddles and rocks and stuff. Then now you need to remember, okay, cool, so I've got an anchor, so I need to anchor to the tree, but I need to anchor at the right, direction or position to the tree so that I can pull this direction so it can actually pull me out. It's brilliantly made by Saber
Yeah.
Interactive. It's it's a simulator. It's the most realistic, I would say, vehicle simulator I've seen.
Rachie is saying it's on Game Pass. It's
It's
no,
a
it's an
sim,
arcade game.
Rachel. Don't
It's
lie.
not a
It's a
sim. He's saying
sim.
it's not a sim.
How is it not a sim? Where is there more technical driving game than SnowRunner?
Bro, just because it stressed you out doesn't mean it's a sim. Relax, brother.
It's like it's
Relax.
no driving game that is more technical.
Are you serious? Dude, don't make me go and download this thing now
Hold
and
on. If
then
you're
and
a
then
car guy, you will enjoy it. But a lot of car guys are like, yeah, like I know like a lot of hardcore like GT, like Gran Turismo fans were like, whoa. Or there's this other racing game, I forgot what it's called. That's also super technical. You actually need the steering wheels and whatever. They were like, nah, this game is it's too
it's too
much.
much.
It's too much. As Jensen would say.
Richie's saying Mud Runner was more technical.
Okay. Maybe I played Mud Runner. Yeah, I've never played Smart, but
So
like it's the
maybe
same thing. Though. It's like like Snow Runner is like a expansion pack for Mud Runner. But I've
Ty,
never
have
played
you
Snow
played?
Runner, Mud Runner.
Ty, have you played Mud Runner or Snow Runner?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it though, but I've
Brilliant
Okay.
games.
never tried
What
it.
have you heard, Ty?
The guy who was talking about it said it was good, but he didn't go into details. Just said it was fun.
Mm.
Technical as fuck.
Yeah, Day Reezy, thank you. Reezy says it's technical. From Osha's translation, I suck.
Oh come on!
That's what
Don't
I'm
be.
taking
I
from.
don't mind
That's
sucking
what
at
I'm taking
games,
from.
bro. Like it's. I enjoy sucking at games actually.
Yeah, it gives you a good challenge. Something to improve at.
If you are that deep into it, like the problem is if you've got a lot of games, you just don't have the patience to sort of like figure out something that's that
One
involved.
game that I'm really sucking at right now is Kazan. Kazan is whooping my ass, but
Oh no,
I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. I'll figure it out.
This
that's
shows
not
that
an
once again,
Xbox game.
Kojima is
Ty, if you got this game tomorrow, which one would you specialize in? Delivery, combat, or movement?
Probably movement.
Movement. Any special reason or?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you. You said
Yeah, sorry
movement.
about that. Yeah, probably movement because it's
Why?
something new, and I think it's probably more core to the game. It seems like combat, while it's a lot more than the previous ones, as Osha said, it's something that you're probably used to. Just shooting somebody, taking this one down. I think stealth and movement is probably where I'll lean towards. I actually enjoy games that kind of give me the option instead. Same thing with shadows. I love sneaking around, love stabbing people behind their back, etc., etc.
Mm. Reichi comes up and says No Runner isn't a trucker game. It's a huge RPG mecha Dark Souls game.
he's not
Your
lying.
truck, your truck is your mech, your upgrade, and the terrain
Yeah,
is your enemy.
he's not
Um,
lying. It's really technical, dude. It's not. This is not a game for casuals like you. This is for people who really like involved. But it's well
like
made.
me. Did you just call me a casual, Oshas?
Hmm? Well, I mean, you like sim games and stuff, so you probably would enjoy it. Try it. Go
Okay,
play
no,
Mud first.
I just thought I heard you say it's not for casuals like you, and I'm like, hold on, did this guy just call me a casual?
No, no, I said like, no, I didn't say you.
Okay, I misheard. My apologies. Apologies, my bad. But
Didn't I
Titkus, yes,
say
it's
casual
brutal.
like me?
All right, all right. But Titkus, have you finished Kazan? If you have any tips, please drop them in the comment section. Let's
is
go.
utilizing 3 layers of gameplay in which the player can tackle the game's missions and obstacles. While delivery, movement, and combat skills can all be customized, combat plays a greater role in Death Stranding 2. In the first game, combat was limited and functioned merely as a way to secure supplies or to make your way through bases. Death Stranding Director's Cut already added infiltration missions into mule bases, but Death Stranding 2 builds more varied stages and systemized combat in the open world, seemingly as an extension of that. New human enemy forces.
How are we feeling about more combat engagements? Elena Aurora, welcome in. Welcome in. We're doing good. We're doing just fine. Make sure to smash the like button. We're talking about Death Stranding too. How do you guys feel about more combat engagement, fellas? Are we happy about this?
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
one
great.
thing I
They needed it, to be honest, because now people like me are a little bit more interested. The overall game just looks better. It looks like this is what for me. This is what I thought it was going to be. Sure, you can do this little, system of walking around and balancing, but if you have combat in it, like just gonna get more eyes on it. So, yeah, for me anyway, that's a sell.
All right.
um
Someone's happy with more violence. Go ahead, Oshis.
here's a hot take for you, Loke. Since I've
Mm.
been teasing your boy all day or all evening, is
Keep
like that's
going.
not gameplay is not his strongest suit. I think like the weakest part of the Metal Gear Solid game
Oh, you
are
piece of gack.
it's the and where this is evidence is in the boss fights that don't involve a mechanic like with the guy that gets old where you can manipulate the clock to make him older. The normal gameplay loop where you have to run, hide, throw something, it's very it's not very nuanced, it's not very um refined. So I would say that combat, the reason there was probably no combat, I put it to you, in the first Dead Stranding is because your boy was like, yeah, you know what, I suck at that. Like, I'm not gonna do that now. Like, we're working on a tight budget. We'll prioritize combat last because it's the thing that, which is smart. If you're a good developer, you focus on your strengths and you don't dwell on your weaknesses. Because if he was a lesser developer, he would have probably tried to make his first indie game a game where he tries to do all the things he did in his previous game. No, he focused on the things that he knows he's very strong at, which is story, presentation, narrative, psychological horror, is all that stuff. He's good at that artsy stuff. But when it comes to like combat, oof, yeah, man, like, like how long did it take Metal Gear Solid to have a third person camera? For instance, if we're talking about like, so that's all I'm saying is that I get why the first game didn't have combat, and I get why he's bringing it in now because he's got the budget, he's got the leeway, he's got the success, but it's his weakest point. He can hire people that are good at it to do it.
I think there's like I don't know, like I kind of agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I think he just doesn't care about combat. Like, because it's Kojima. Like, if he really wanted to, he could hire somebody to kind of sort that out, right? But he chose not to because in his mind, he's like, that's not even important. You're playing my games because there's something else here that's bringing you, that's grabbing you. And I think he mentioned, I think one of the guys who previewed this game mentioned that, like, even for Death Stranding 2, that there was some pushback or complaints about certain elements, and then he just had to like basically say, okay, yeah, fair enough, like I'll include that. But I think if he could get away with not putting those things in the game, he just wouldn't. I just think he
Really
doesn't
would
care.
have. No,
Like
I
I,
agree
I
with
think
you.
he
He
wants
wanted
to
that
make
to
he wants to make a cinematic game. I think he's kind of like, I don't want to say he's like Neil Druckmann, but I think they're both in this kind of movie like mindset, and
yes.
that is their main thing.
Kojima is like Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, I
Their
knew
main
you were gonna. I knew you were gonna take that somewhere else. But I would say this. I think,
Listen,
to give some
Yes.
flowers to
you
Neil
guys are on a
Druckmann has
roll of
mastered the
bad
idea.
takes. No, no, you're on a roll of bad takes. So let's
They all
cleanse the
obsess.
palate.
There's
Stop
two
it,
things.
Oshus. Oshus?
If if
Oshus?
if Kojima could make
Stop
movies,
it.
you would not be getting a Death Stranding 2 right now.
Oshus?
He does.
Stop
He
it.
cares more about making movies than he cares about
You
making games.
guys, you guys lost me. You guys lost me when you said that Kojima is on the same level as a Druckmann in any arena or field.
Why are you so touched?
I didn't even say. I said he's like Druckmann in the sense
They've
that
got
In
similar
they both
any
want to make
way,
movie games.
in any way, those two are not in the same galaxy.
No, they are.
Stop.
They are very
Actually,
pretty much
actually, actually,
obsessed.
here's a question: do you think, forget about the story? Do you think Kojima plays The Last of Us and the gameplay part of it is like, yo, this gameplay feels cinematic. I think this is pretty dope.
I think Kojima got through 2 chapters. Three. Sorry. When does Joel get killed? I think the first 4 chapters of The Last of Us Part 2, threw up, uninstalled it, and moved on with his life. I think that's what Kojima did.
No, yeah, from a story point of view. But do you think he looks at the way the gameplay of Last of Us is cinematic, and does Kojima say, "Well, I like cinema, and I think they've
No.
done a good job at representing that"?
On the first one, sure. On the first one, sure. Jax82, welcome in. Thank you. Says Kojima is nothing like Neil Druckmann. Are you kidding me? Remake Station
No,
2,
he
thank
said
you.
that
Says
like
OD will own you. You will be addicted. What is OD? What is OD?
no idea.
Elena Aurora, we already have someone doing that for TSWS. Thank you for the offer, though. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's get back to the video, man. Oshus, you and oh my
Monsters
god.
such as bandits and armed survivalists appear, and their bases
No,
are
I think
designed
that's
as
fair
stages for
criticism
simple
of
three-dimensional structures.
You might not like it, but I think it's
BTs, or creatures that appear due to the Death Stranding phenomenon, also have new types.
Okay.
Larger BTs with stronger attacks make the combat more challenging than it was in the first game.
That's combat. The thing
Combat
is
has
hugging
become
him.
more tactical as well. By throwing a speaking doll, called Dollman, you can observe the insides of bases from above to grasp enemy placement and movement lines. While close combat remains important, remote stealth attacks with the blood boomerang, precision shooting with sniper rifles, and utilizing assault rifles and grenade launchers give the player a multitude of new options. It's even possible to put down Sam's rifles and grenade launchers,
What
precision
about
shooting
this
with
boss
sniper
fight
rifles, and
tells you,
utilizing assault
ooh, The
rifles
Last
and
of
grenade.
Us? What, fellas?
Hmm?
What do when you guys look at this boss fight on the screen right now? What about that says we are definitely Neil Druckmann? Definitely.
What a straw man.
Strawman.
Oh, a straw man.
All right.
It doesn't
All
say
right.
Neil
Grenade
Druckmann. It
launchers,
says
multiplayer
the other
multitude.
game, Horizon. Like Horizon has a lot of fights like this.
Ocean.
This but probably very similar to Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's heartless, guys. That is heartless.
It's the other guy. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know
President.
the guy who directed it. Was it not Herman Hulse who directed the first one?
That's
Yes.
heartless.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Yeah,
heartless.
his.
Kojima
That's
is
his.
like Herman. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a better
Oh my
comparison.
god.
This is his engine. This is Herman's engine,
All right.
bro. What are you
Yeah,
talking
this is
about?
All right.
this is Herman's engine basically. So of course it's like Horizon.
This is not one of
Thank
the
you.
engines. What
Kojima
are
hit
the
up
engines that
Herman. I
you're
was like,
going
"Yo, can
in?
you give me
The
some tips
Konami?
for my new game?" He's like, "Yeah." Herman's like, "Of course, bro. I'll help you out.
What is that game?
I'll sell
Thank
you there
you,
a little bit."
Batitkas, for bringing
The
us back to
Fox
reality.
engine.
It
It's
says
the Fox
this.
engine.
Batitka says this looks more like a Metal Gear fight than anything. Thank you, Batitkas. Thank you for bringing us back to reality.
This is the
Remake
same
Station
freaking
5.
monster in Horizon. What are you talking about?
Remake Station 5 says Kojima knows gameplay. Thank you.
He
Sanity.
doesn't know gameplay.
Sanity is
Get out of
trickling
here.
through into the show through the comment section. It's unfortunate, but today the comment section has it. All right. Fuzzy says it's the same to me because I'm not playing. All right, Fuzzy. Quick one, Fuzzy. Why aren't you into like Kojima games? I'm curious. Is there a specific thing that turns you off, or is it just Death Stranding specifically that you're not into? Darizy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, how are you a Kojima fan and don't know about OD for Xbox? Hey man, I'm not a fan of things I haven't seen yet. Is OD the Xbox thing, the Xbox project that is like cloud based? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's gonna be some trumped up
Hold
seven
on, let me
10 thing.
stop it. Let me Google it real quick.
Is about.
Uh, OD on Xbox.
Wait, you don't know what OD is?
I don't.
Oh wow.
OD is an upcoming horror game developed by Kojima
Uh,
Productions, published by Xbox Studios. It
yawn,
stars Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and Udo
yawn.
Kier. Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele served as writers of the game.
I'm gonna enjoy that as
Oh,
much as I enjoyed Up. or,
Jesus.
or
Up is
what
a
is
classic, bro.
or what is it like Us? Like as much as I enjoy Jordan Peele's movies, of like what the fuck, bro? Like you just wasted 2 hours of my time just for
Uh,
this artsy fartsy piece of crap. Like really?
I forgot about OD Darizy. I forgot about it.
Well, I think the
Uh,
thing about OD is like, apart from obviously it
Listen,
signifying
Darizy, I'm not
what.
perfect, all right?
What do you know?
Don't send me to the Kojima Inquisitors. Don't do it. I just forgot for like a millisecond. I just forgot. Go ahead,
There
Ty.
is.
Apart
Why do
from
you know? Sorry, go ahead,
no,
Ty.
go ahead. What's the
I
question?
was gonna say, what do you know about that game except those stupid ass faces they showed at one showcase where people are just
Nothing.
screaming, ah! I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. You know what? Like, if you want to impress fans, if you want to impress most people,
Give
show
us
them
gameplay.
GTA. And you know what GTA does? The first thing it shows you a ton of Darie muscled up, freaking
All right,
guys
all right,
working on this,
all right, all right.
buff
Stop it.
guys,
Stop it, Osha.
cars, strip clubs.
No,
Ain't nobody into that
Kojima
freaking.
doesn't need to do that. Kojima's
No,
above that.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
He does not. No.
Is it?
Stop
Wasn't there
it.
like a girl just like
Stop it.
swimming around like a fish in the previous game and
Quiet.
running half naked?
Quiet. Quiet is one specific character in an ocean of characters in MGS5. Go to
Oh,
every other Metal Gear
okay.
game that you'll find. There's always
What
one
was
or two
back?
sexy like female characters. It's not an
There's
ocean of them.
always
Stop
one
it.
that stands out. What about that
What?
other
And
Mexican guy?
what's wrong with having one? No, Ushers, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. What's wrong with having one specific female character
No,
that's
not even
attractive? What's
female.
wrong with
I'm
that?
just saying that there's always an over sexualized character in a Kojima game. In
Okay, where's the problem?
No, like I'm not saying there's a problem. I'm just saying
It
that it's
sounds like
not
there's a
better.
problem there.
No, no, I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying it's not better than what everybody else is doing. It's not like he's above certain things and like he
He's
won't
above it. He is
social.
above it because it's
Bro,
one character. It's two characters. All
like
the
I
other
know
games
what
are like
Kojima's into based off all the Metal Gear Solid. I know his sexual kinks based off all the Metal Gear Solid games
bring
I've
up the
played.
MGS4. Don't bring up the boss MGS4. Ty, go ahead, say whatever you wanted to say. I'm
Yeah,
embarrassed
so
enough about Kojima's kinks right now. I don't need to defend that.
the ODM announcement was like significant for a few reasons. One, it was Xbox's first time actually working with Kojima, and it's a direct, it's an exclusive game, right? At least back then it was exclusive. So that's number one,
Yeah,
and that kind of showed Xbox it was kind of getting close to Japan, and in terms of this singular strategy of exclusive, it was doing it was great. It was great to see. But the
yeah.
the thing here that was interesting was that this game was supposed to be a Stadia game, and Kojima specifically went for Stadia because he was referencing that the online element was really, really important. And so people have theorized different things. And obviously he shifted to Xbox, which is xCloud. So it seems like this was a game that couldn't really be on PlayStation unless, they had a strong cloud system behind it.
Yeah.
The rumors is that it's supposed to be like a cinematic movie slash game that is connected, and for me, my takeaway from that is that think about the Wolf Among Us, and think about maybe Kojima's looking at that kind of game and saying, how can
Hmm.
we take this to the next level? And it seems like that's what OD is supposed to be. So this interactive cinematic experience that you can maybe press buttons here and there, and it's a connected universe, etc., etc. So I think it's actually quite exciting, but we just haven't seen anything on it so far.
Yeah, yeah. And that's to your point. Remake Station is really pissed in the comment section saying, "Do you guys play PTGs? You guys are more boomer than me, and I'm older." It's hard. How can I put this? It's hard to put your finger on something and then keep it foremost in your mind when you don't have the gameplay to attach it to. So the place where I thought the place where I thought Oshus was taking it was Clear Obscure. The very first time I saw Clear Obscure, they showed us gameplay, and I was rock hard and ready to go day one when I saw Clear Obscure because they gave us the whole preview. The thing with OD is that all we got was here's a bunch of famous people, we're doing something. And it's like, well, until we actually see something solid, why are we like super excited about this? Is this even worth saving in our data banks in our minds when we
Yes.
have so many things to say? In my opinion, no.
I think it depends on the creator. If you tell me, Swan Venk, I think that's how you say his name, the creator of Baldur's Gate 3,
I've seen some
creative
people call
director.
him Sven. I've seen people
Ven.
call him Sven. Sven.
Sven.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you say
Yeah.
Sven is making a new game, I'm listening. I'm
Yeah.
paying attention. You tell me, I don't care about Kojima games, but if you tell me he's making something, I want to see what it is because I know it's going to be
You're like, let's
something really
go.
unique. Yeah, like as much as Death Stranding is not my kind of game, I gotta applaud him for even coming up with this kind of idea, and the execution seems to be there for a lot of people. So, so yeah, I think it depends on the director. You're gonna pay
And
attention.
remember that argument that we had with Oshus a couple of weeks ago about lack of originality in games.
Hmm.
Kojima is not suffering from not being original. He's not
Yeah,
suffering from any of that.
very true.
The Sly Crow welcome in says us reminded me of Sinners a bit. Welcome in, Sly Crow. Guys, please make sure to smash the like button and get us out there into that YouTube algorithm. Rachie says we are all wait. Okay, Vince says if there's no booba, there's going to be mods. All hail mods. Rachie, we are all waiting for MGS4 remakes for the photo modes at 8K on the PS5 Pro. Listen, listen. Fox says, look, I was rock hard, ready. Pause. No, no, there's no pausing, dude. As soon as I saw Clear Obscure, and then I saw the feat. I was like, let's go, bro. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. Reezy, you have unlimited storage in your mind. Is this because of my forehead? Stop it. Stop it. I do have a limit. Jeez, man. This guy.
Do you know what I thought about
uh,
this game though? That I thought would be interesting from a modern
no,
point of
hold on,
view.
hold on,
By the
Ty.
way,
Remake Station, I can't believe you're calling me a Sony pony right now with my blue shirt and my new pink tie. I can't believe you're doing this to me. Says Loke, would you think the same if OD was coming from Sony? And then he follows it up by saying Loke is more of a Sony fan than a Kojima fan.
Nah, I don't
Cautious,
think.
do you agree with this sentiment?
No, I think you
Thanks,
glaze.
Lycro. Have a good
There's no
one.
one that you glaze more than Kojima, bro. Like
Can't believe
you.
you're doing this to me, Remix Station. You're making me crash out right the fuck now. Can't believe. Ty, do you think I'm more of a Sony fan than a Kojima fan?
no, I'll say you're more of a Kojima guy.
Remix
From
Station. If that was bait, on some premium bait, brother. On some premium ass bait. I can't believe you just did this to me. Let's get back to the video. We still
But
have to
just
go
a
and
quick one. I
watch.
think it would have been
Okay.
interesting if like you take like you make some kind of like expansion of this game, like just using the engine. I don't know, like you instead of like traversing packs or whatever it is, maybe you're like traversing people instead. From like zombie apocalypse. I don't know. For some reason, like that idea came into my mind. I thought it would be actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
A cool universe for this game.
But you're not on a tour like Kojima, Tayo. That's your problem, bro.
Oh my goodness.
You'll
All right.
never
All right.
understand minimalism.
Remake Station, why would I be sad if OD comes out and it's better than Death Stranding 2? Why would I be upset? I don't, because it's an Xbox
It's
thing.
about Xbox, bro. Like Xbox is dead. Like no one cares. Like it doesn't matter anymore. So whether it
Remake Station, I think you're extrapolating Oshus's unhinged tirades and you're projecting them onto me. I think that's what you're doing.
but nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Multitude of new options. It's even possible to put down Sam's backpack, allowing for more agile and nimble movement by completely
What?
separating him from his cargo.
That's a nice touch, fellas.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's nice. And like Osha said, those little touches, right? Drop your backpack off, go ahead and murder half the camp and then go and grab your stuff.
That's what I was saying
It
because
doesn't get
I
damaged.
saw some of these videos and I was thinking like there seems to be a lot of like improvements here that really make sense. So I was thinking like, is this probably a jump from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2? It kind of seemed like it to me, but I haven't played the game, so I can't really say.
No, but Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 had a big graphical jump.
No, I don't mean graphic. I just mean like even feeling and gameplay. I'm gonna talk about graphics.
Oh, gameplay, I have no doubts Kojima is going
agree
to
with
do
that.
some
I think it's
crazy things.
I think
Yeah.
it's a slow jump. I think it's where you go from you've got a lot of restrictions, you don't really understand like there's a lot of limitations in terms of budget, the hardware, a lot of stuff. Like this is their second game, they understand the engine better now. They have more time, they have more freedom. The first game was a success, so there's not as much pressure. So they can really go out and sort of start to put all the list of nice to haves. This is why
And
people
they
say that the sequel in gaming is always better than the original most of the time because by the second game now you can make the game that you want because the first game was basically your proof of concept to the company or to the public to say this is what I want to do. So what I'm saying by this is that Clear Obscure 2 is going to be fucking
Oh
bro.
man. Watch
It,
this.
man, it's going to kick. It's going to be probably the best turn-based role-playing game ever,
I don't know about that now.
ever,
Be careful with that.
It's gonna
ever.
get close. It's gonna get close.
It will. Like
It
these
will
guys did
push
this with
Chrono
30
Trigger.
people, bro. With 30 people, they got a 92, 90, what, 93.
It's not 30 people. I mean, it is 30 people, but it's not really
So
30.
now imagine if they had like 100 people. That's like
No, but you
100.
see, I think what I'll say there is this because somebody made a really good post on Reddit once, right? And he said that when I was a kid, I always imagine, I always wanted more bigger worlds, bigger everything, bigger all this and that. And he's like, I regret that decision now because everything got big and things got worse and worse and worse. So you might actually prefer them just to be small and nimble as opposed to being, this
And
studio that like
focused.
has, yeah. Because if you give them maybe 200 developers now and you give them 150 million budget, you probably run into the same problems that you ran into ran
Nah,
into
I don't think
before.
so. I don't think so. The problem is your friends, shareholders. Like the moment you now have like shareholders, and we need to. The reason Rockstar is so successful is because they don't need to make like call it. They're not tied to Take Two's annual reports. They don't need to make money for the year to justify their existence. They just need to release a product whenever it's ready, put it out there when they feel the quality is right, and decide whether then the public decides whether they want that product because they trust
No, but
Rockstar.
like, of course they're beholden, right? Because the only
No, no,
reason
no,
why they
they're not.
have that,
Like Rockstar
the only
as a
reason why
company.
Rockstar has that privilege is because they make
Thank you.
GTA.
Yeah, exactly. So you make a product that people care about, then you don't have to be a penny pincher or listen to some dirtbag, publisher
No, no, no. But you see,
big
when you
that's
say
gonna
people
be
care about, we're not talking about
put,
2 million, 3 million
put
people. We're
more
talking about
stuff to do
millions.
with Fortnite. Like put more stuff to do with where's the competitive? No, you don't have to listen to any of those people. Like you don't have to sit in a boardroom as a creative and listen to people that don't understand a single thing about your audience telling you how to make a game. That's the privilege that these guys have got. It's the same privilege that that dude who works for
I
EA
mean,
might.
but even hold on. Like, I think, okay, I'm
Split
not really disagreeing.
fiction,
I'm not really
bro.
disagreeing. But like, for
Split fiction.
example,
Why is split fiction still split fiction? Why is that guy that's made these obscure games still getting free reign to make the type of games that he wants, and they sell and they're hits? Because he can do. He's that type of guy. I don't even know what his name is, but he's the guy that does the edgy, the
Co-op
edge
games.
lord. No, no, the edge lord announcements at the Game Awards. That guy.
Yeah.
He's working for EA. He's making the type of games that he wants with no compromise, and they're still successful. The
All
problem is
right.
the moment your game becomes Call of Duty or
no,
becomes
the
Battlefield.
problem is when you reach out and you make a game that isn't as good, that hasn't given the right return, they're going to start hounding you and trying to force you to do things that you don't want to do. I mean, that just makes sense to me because, for example, like, Hazel Lights, the guys who made Split Fiction, they didn't start off making Split Fiction. They started off small
Yes,
and then they grew and grew and grew. But all the budget is modest. If they turn around right now to EA, yeah, we have this ambition to make like a Split Fiction like game with AAA blockbuster graphics and having 10 players be able to play at the same time, and EA is like, okay, how much is that going to cost? As soon as you say 250 million, like EA is going to start asking you questions, right? So the problem I think with all of these developers is they're asking for money and they have to make concessions. But if you start small, you get that foundation, you get that good grace, and then they're willing to take a risk on you because of your proven track record.
but like, do you think Way Out was a smaller game than their second game?
Yeah, of course, every single game that they've done ever has increased in budget.
No, like I
A
don't
Way
think so.
Out was,
Way
at
Out
least from
looks like a
my,
triple A game, dude. It was a
yeah,
corporate action adventure
from
game
my view, yeah. A
Really?
Way Out was actually
compared
better
to the
than
second
It
game that
Takes
they
Two.
made.
It Takes Two.
Like It Takes Two is such an obscure little platformer. It literally did not
It
cost a
did win
single
Game of the
dollar.
Year, though. It
It
did
did, but
win
the
Game of
point
the
is,
Year.
it won Game of the Year and it sold. But look at their first game. It's also the only thing that those two games have in common is that whole thing of like being a multiplayer, a co-op game. But Way Out looks like a triple A game, bro. It looks nothing like what your boy has done up until now. Or what's his name? Jose. Is it Joseph Faraz? It's a
Hmm.
much
You're
more
right. You're
looking
right,
game.
Big Madmo. They did get better each time. That's true, Big Madmo.
Yeah.
Lawrence
I don't know about
Davenport
budget.
says we should all be getting ready for Doom: The Dark Ages, as that is out today for those who got the premium upgrade. I didn't get the upgrade. I'm not
Um,
even upset that I didn't get it. Uh,
just a quick
I'm
one.
really at peace with it. No offense. It's not that I have anything against Doom. I'm excited to play it, but I'm okay with not having it right now. Oshas, did you get the premium upgrade for Doom?
I haven't even got anything for Doom. I got the deluxe upgrade for Clear Obscure, but I've got nothing for
Like
Doom. I don't know when Doom is coming out.
like most of us. Like most of us. Ty, did you get the upgrade for Doom the Dark Ages?
No, I did not.
Lawrence Davenport, there you have it. That's why we're not really talking about Doom the Dark Ages. No one here has gotten the premium upgrade. We're going to
Oh,
play it when it does go to Game Pass. I think in 2 days, 3 days, I don't know. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Fuzzy says Rockstar used to release a shitload of games and now it's just GTA. They aren't really the blueprint we want for other studios. Hell yeah, Fuzzy. That's not the example we want everyone to follow. Uh, oh my god, Big Mad Mo, you're right. You're right. Their first game was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and that game was so good. It actually wasn't co-op. You had one analog stick controlling one brother, the other analog stick controlling the other brother.
and-
If you guys haven't played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, please go and play it. It's a short game, but I promise you it will change you. I promise you, you can play it in like 5 hours, 6 hours. You'll knock it out. It's an
whose game
awesome.
is that? Confused.
Uh,
His own.
brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they did when they were at Starbreeze Studios. Okay, yeah, okay.
Just so on the It Takes Two and A Way Out one,
Okay,
It Takes Two had, sorry, like 60 developers working on it, and
okay.
the A Way Out had like 25 to maybe 50 developers.
That's crazy.
It's saying
So
that
there's more
also,
devs.
yeah, It Takes Two also is a 12 to 14 hour campaign, while A Way Out is like, I think it says it's like 7 or 8, so it's much shorter. And it's
It's
also
pretty
saying
short,
that
yeah.
It Takes Two has like different environments like gardens, clock tower, snows. There's more complexity in the gameplay, whereas A Way Out is a lot less. So yeah, it seems like It Takes Two probably costs more to make. EA has actually disclosed that A Way Out costs around 5.2 million US dollars. So I would say
But
It
like,
Takes Two
look
costs
at
more
it,
to
like,
make.
bro, like that money, all that money was on display. They used each. That looked like a AAA game.
Fair, fair, fair. We're not going to argue whether the money was
Mm,
on display or not.
Like,
yeah.
Fuzzy
that,
says,
that's me, in my opinion, anyway.
Ushers, Ushers. This line is not even going anywhere. Fuzzy says I might get the upgrade tonight. So I want to talk. Let's talk about value very quickly because it seems like we have some Xbox fans that are very upset that we're not focusing on their big Xbox AAA exclusive that is in the premium thing. Mo's calling us bums, and other people are complaining why we're not talking about Doom: The Dark Ages. Oshus, Fuzzy is not sure about getting the upgrade. Do you see value in getting the the 2 day, 2 or 3 day upgrade for Doom?
Why would like? But like, what's your thinking? Like, are you a Doom fan? Are you? Why would you get that? Like,
Are
what
you a
is it?
content creator?
Yeah, like to me, it gives you the early access, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
I think it's 2 days of early access.
Yeah, because like I did that for Starfield, for instance, because it was supposed to be the end all of all, Xbox games slash Bethesda games. So I went and I got the pre order.
Still is. There's people still playing it. Playing it.
No, I'm still playing it, but like, yeah, I'm just saying in terms of hype and what it was sold to as a fan of Bethesda, it was sold as that, and I was like, oh, I need to get this. Like, this is the game that Xbox has been waiting for since 2012 or something. But like, yeah, so that's why I got that. Like, why would I get Doom? Because the problem, I don't know, like I don't have that attachment to Doom. Like, I like the Doom series, but I don't see why I would be sort of like coerced to play it early. Like it's not like there's a story element or something I'm going to experience. Like that's yeah. Like I to me it's just yeah. I'm just not that into the series, unfortunately.
Ty,
I
do you
agree.
see value in doing the $10 upgrade? According to Mo, it's a $10 upgrade.
Yeah, I think there's value in all these things, but it just depends how you allocate your money. Like, what do you care about? If you're a Doom fan, I can see why you would think $10 is okay. Like, I mean, I went to the shop today, ordered like I could not order, like I got like like a couple of cans of Coke that cost me $10, right? That's I'm gonna drink that. It's gonna finish in like a couple of days. But hey, I could have used that money to get Doom instead, and that's a game that I would have with me, and it's a game that's gonna give me like 70, 80 hours of content, or 60, 50, whatever it is. So it just depends how you value these things. Only you can make that decision anyway. But yeah, if you go for it, you go for it. I think if you're a content creator, you probably need to be getting all these kind of deals because you get the game early, then you can drop a review as soon as possible. So if you're a content creator,
Oh,
sure, a streamer, yeah.
Lawrence Davenport says you also get the DLC if you get the upgrade.
Oh, like Starfield, then yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna be worth it then if you're gonna get the DLC
if you're a fan, though, if
if
you're
you're a
into
fan,
that,
yeah.
it's like these things also go because of the fact that it's like on like PS5 or Xbox. They go on sale very quickly after the period has ended. Like you get the shit for dirt cheap compared to what you paid for it while you were pre-ordering or before when it was being sold.
Mhm.
So
In
that's
fact,
also
when
something to consider.
when do you guys think Sony's gonna start like doing this early access for their games? Because now basically you have Microsoft saying, "Yeah, we're about to start charging your users, and $100 or whatever it is, $90 for
Sony's
the early
consumer
access."
friendly. They won't do it. All
Yeah,
right.
see, you're a pony, so I expect that answer from you.
He's acting like a pony right now with that answer.
It's a joke. Hey, hold on. So it's not $10. Fuzzy says it's a $35 upgrade, and
What?
you get the DLC. I don't mind the early access when it has the DLC. So it's okay. I think maybe $10 is for you to just get the early access. 35 is for the DLC to come with.
Yeah, that sounds about
Dayreezy,
right.
yeah, I think that's probably what's happening. Dayreezy and Big Mad Mo, I will be streaming Hellblade tomorrow. Just not sure what time, right? Just not sure what time. Uh Vince says Doom Dark Ages Steam starts at 80 euros. 80 euro. Deluxe with early access is 110 euros.
Ooh.
Wait, 80 euro for the base game? No.
Jesus. Hold on. Let me open Steam. There's no way that's the price. I,
Not
I
on
think
Steam,
it's
probably
70.
on like the probably on like Xbox Marketplace.
Hold on. Let's see what Steam
Take
says.
it now as well.
Doom the Dark Ages is $70. It's not $80. So that's
On
probably on
PC.
Xbox.
On
No,
All
PC.
on
right.
Europe they charge us a little bit extra.
On what?
In Europe they charge us a little bit
Well, I
extra.
mean, we get our stuff from Europe, so we pay the same price, if not more, than you guys. We don't get our stuff from like America and shit.
Fark says the cheapest place to get the premium upgrade is CD Keys. I paid just over $21.
Whoa! Wait.
Oshis, are you okay?
I'm looking at the pricing here, my man. Like, there's one. The premium package is 1,999, bro, in rands. Excuse me. Yes.
Oshis is about
Oh,
to cry.
I think it kiss.
2,000 rands.
Okay, kiss my ass. Let me just.
2,000
I'll work that
rands.
back out. I'll reverse calculate that for you guys. Where's my?
Yo, Davenport. I don't think the intention was for us to be sitting here talking about pricing, bro. I think the idea was to be sitting here glazing Doom and Xbox, but kind of stuck on the price here. Big Mad Mo says hashtag you pay, I play. God damn it. I pay, then I'll play as well, dude. We both play. Stop it, Mo. Stop it. Don't act like people that pay don't get to play. All right. Ty, will you be buying Doom or are you getting it on Game Pass?
Not buying it definitely, but it's on Game Pass. I'm
Will
subscribed.
you even get it and actually play it? Because, like you were saying earlier, there's tons of games for us to be playing right now. Like, we're just talking about Death Stranding 1, right? I'm currently playing Kazan, WRC, uh, Fire Emblem Three Houses. As it is, I've already got a 3 game rotation. And then, thanks to Big Mad Mo and Day Reezy reminding me, I now have to start playing freaking Hellblade tomorrow. That's going to be awesome, right? That's going to be just great.
No,
Where's the
you're right.
time? Where's the time to get Doom?
No,
So
you're right.
my
There's
question
no
to
time.
you is, are you gonna get it? Be honest.
No, because as good as it is to probably like click that button to download and be like, yeah, I'm gonna try out Doom. The honest truth is, I'm probably not gonna play it because there's just too many games that I want to play or I'm considering.
That you're
Even
that
even
you're
South of
committed.
yeah, like even South of Midnight. I haven't played that game yet, but South of Midnight I'll probably play more than Doom because it's a short
Fraud.
story driven experience, which is
You're fraud.
which is ideal. Doom just seems like your run and gun shooter game, which is, I mean, it's great for those people who love those kind
And
of games.
the campaign looks like it's gonna be long.
Mm.
Time.
Listen, I rather play Death Stranding
It's not
2
that
than
long,
Doom.
dude. It's like 15 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Dark Ages is 15 hours. Okay, Ty, you're saying you'd rather play Death Stranding.
I rather play Death Stranding than Doom for sure.
Why? Now I'm curious.
Death Stranding looks like a story-driven game that has something, and it's unique. It's walking around, balancing. It's quite different. Whereas Doom is just run and gun.
How
Those kind
many
of games.
games? How many games are you
Doom is
killing?
also story based. Hold on. Doom is also
Mhm.
story based, dude. I think they said that this is the most story heavy Doom game they've ever made. And they
Would you
even
say
they
this?
even gave up with multiplayer just to focus on this campaign.
Would you say the story for Doom is more generic than Death Stranding?
Yes.
No
Like there's
doubt.
no
No
story in Doom.
doubt.
Like
Oh, stop it, Oshus. Don't
this
say
is
that, dude. Come on.
so
Come on.
like again
Don't
like
say there's no story
before
in
look
Doom.
before
Come on.
look before look watch gonna gets his knickers in a knot here. Like what I mean by
It's
that
not
is
they're not knickers, they're thongs. All right. Stop it.
that all right,
Stop making fun of my thongs.
all right, Cisco, you've got the Cisco glasses on. So listen,
Hey,
so like
Rizzy, you are not
it's
a brokey.
a
You're not a
story.
brokey. You're just someone that uses his head before he swipes that card. Go ahead,
It's
Oshus.
it's an arcade based story, so it's not like you can't compare it. Like Kojima stuff is like psychological thriller. It's like who's this guy? It's like watching a Carpenter film or what's his name? Is it yeah, it's Carpenter. And then the other guy, like, but it's like watching like really the guy that makes Twin Peaks. It's watching like something from an auteur trying to tell you a story that has some greater. Doom is like Michael Bay saying, like, if they gave Michael
They
Bay,
both have value. Stop it, Oshus. They
I didn't
both
say they don't have
have
value. I
value.
just said
They're
that
both awesome. They're both
awesome
awesome.
is awesome. Yes, like just like boobs are awesome, feminism is also awesome to some people. So it's one of those things that it's either or. But like in terms of like weight, you can't compare the weight of the two together. It's not the same thing. Um it's
They
very
can't be
different.
the same thing. They can't be the same thing.
Yeah,
We,
but like
we
what
can
I'm saying
agree
is that
that
like
they're very different experiences. All I'm pushing back on, we can't say Doom doesn't have a story. We
no, it
can't do
has.
that.
This one is the most story focused one ever. But what everybody is
All
saying
right.
is that after like you're a good 3 hours in, you won't even remember what the freaking story is about. Because again, this is a game built around gameplay. That's what Doom has always been. It's been built
All
around
right.
gameplay more than and mechanics more than it is about narrative.
Reezy says there's no story for delivering Amazon packages. Stop it. Stop it, Reezy. Come on. You see, this is one of the things that I don't like. Like, I don't like how we can't look at something like Doom and be like, wow, that's pretty great. And turn around and look at Death Stranding and be like, yeah, that's different from this, but that's also pretty great. And just be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to sling mud at the other one to
I actually
elevate
completely agree
this one.
with you. I think you're right because I feel like, when people see double A games that do well, they shit on triple A games. They sling mud at any people that they don't like. I think you've even been guilty of that as well. Like
True.
glazing double A
Because like
games.
you,
You
Tyre
know,
can't help himself.
and I can't help myself because I'm like, wow, I just played Assassin's Creed
He
Shadows.
can't help himself and
What a
try and
dope
check
Assassin's Creed
the.
Shadows game. And then
Oh
someone plays
god!
Clear Obscure. I'm like,
Oh
Ubisoft should
gosh!
be ashamed. I'm like,
Oh my god.
Why are they not all good games? Like, what are we talking about here? Do you know what? Yeah, here's what I'll say. I'll say
Bro,
that
are you
Samford,
Mozambican, Tai? Are you
Samford,
Mozambican? Because the way
Samford
you defend
Interactive.
the way you defend Yasuke, my guy, like I should probably go to immigration, get you a Mozambican passport, bro.
Listen, damn straight. But listen, I'll say this all right. You know what? Sandfall Interactive should be ashamed of themselves because there's one developer, not 30, one developer
Yeah.
who made a drug dealing game on Steam that has 40,000 players. They should be ashamed that it took 30 players to do this when one guy could do it. Like, you see how silly this is?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's all silly, right?
It's
Hey,
completely fair,
there's a
Tai.
game
It's
called
only silly to
Bilateral.
you.
There's a game called Bilateral that one guy made, so 30 developers should be ashamed, right?
No, no,
Yeah,
no. This
yeah,
is
I
like you
agree.
say,
Yes, I agree.
no, no, Tai. It's not the same thing. You
Guys, we need
owning
to make time to watch Batitkas's video. Come on.
you selling stuff in the corner of the street or owning a tuck shop or a small little
A
cafe
tuck
is not
shop.
the
I love
same
it.
as it's not the same as Walmart. All right, so let's stop the cap of like a bunch of people who started a little store, a little mom and pop shop, and they're selling stuff at that mom and pop shop. Yes, they're better than the guy that's selling stuff at the street corner, but at no point in time is people looking at those two and saying, these two are in direct competition, and this one might actually destroy
No,
this one.
but that is but when people
But
say,
like,
well, when people say you should be ashamed, that's what they're saying.
ashamed of what?
When people say like AAA developers should be ashamed that Club Scare has done
That
this
they
or
make
Pinnacle did
garbage
this
for 500 million.
is GTA garbage.
Okay.
Like you
All
making
right.
Is GTA
400 million
garbage.
making Concord, you should be freaking ashamed.
Tai.
Is GTA.
Tai.
How?
Oh,
Don't
here
use
we go.
GTA.
Concord as usual. It's always
Oh,
Concord.
There's every
Always
year there's one.
Dustboard
Hey, you
and
want me to give
Concord.
all
look,
right.
These are the only
you
games
making
you
Suicide
know.
Squad. There's Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Ty, you should be
Suicide
freaking
Squad.
ashamed.
Not Baldur's
Uh,
Gate, not Cyberpunk, not
You should be
Starfield.
ashamed.
Oh, what about
Shame on
Baldur's
you.
Gate? Lyrian should be ashamed.
Shame
Elder Ring.
on
Elder
you.
Ring should be ashamed.
All right. All right. We're not going
Huh?
anywhere. We're
Huh?
not going anywhere.
Always the
Let's
shitty
leave it
games.
alone. Okay.
Shame
Listen.
on
Listen.
you.
Boys, settle down. Settle down. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay? Let's do this. If I do, if I can start my stream of Hellblade tomorrow early and end it early, we can have a pod tomorrow, same time that we usually have everything plus gaming, and we will specifically only discuss AAA versus AA. I want y'all to take your notes and come with your fighting gloves and your and ready to go. I'll be the moderator. I'll be the moderator. But for now, let's get back to Death Stranding. Jeez, Sapo, welcome in. I'm only here showing support. I don't care for Death Stranding. Fair enough. Sapo, did you get the Doom, the Dark Ages premium upgrade? And if you did not, tell us why. I'm curious. I'm curious. They talk about games without talking about games. Reezy says the most story from Death Stranding is jumping over a fence, running from someone's doggy while delivering a pet. Oh my goodness. Really? Really? All right. All right. Let's get back to Death Stranding because this is getting out of hand. Here we go.
Cargo. Weight management directly connects to mobility, which greatly enhances tactical flexibility. Whether to engage in direct combat, choose stealth, or avoid combat altogether, freedom of approach has increased when compared to the first game. You can even refund your used skill points, welcoming trial and error to find the playstyle that suits you best. As partially revealed in trailers, after a series of dramatic events, Sam will cooperate with Drawbridge, a civilian company established by Fragile. As the setting moves from Mexico to Australia, a new journey begins. A mobile base
We're going down under. We're going all the way down under.
called DHV Magellan, named after the explorer Ferdinand Magellan who travelled around the world, functions as a hub for the player. As the name DHV Magellan suggests, the story steps into themes reminiscent of colonial domination. Furthermore, the rise of a private political organisation called APAC shows similarities with the PMC depicted in Metal Gear Solid 4. Since I haven't witnessed the story to its conclusion, it is too early to speculate on how these motifs will come to fruition in the full game. In Death Stranding, people were isolated and only porters traversed the dangerous outside world, which many noted seemed to foresee the COVID-19 pandemic. In Death Stranding 2, the APAC seems to resonate with recent movements of America's Doge. With such eerie points of convergence with reality, I can't help but feel that there is a significance worth noting in contemporary times regarding how connections will be redefined in Death Stranding 2. Of particular note is the presence of actor Luca Marinelli, who plays a mysterious man. Both Marinelli's acting ability and the presentation of scenes he appears in leave a strong impression. The mystery of who this man is and why he stands in Sam's way will have players speculating for sure. Marinelli and his character are just as captivating as Mads Mikkelsen's Cliff was in the first game. One concern I had during my 30 hours with the game was that I realised that the trailers contain content that delves quite deeply into the main story, to the extent that a lot of what happened throughout the game I was already somewhat aware of. Could it be that too much has been given away in the trailers? Or
Nah.
is there a big surprise awaiting players when Death Stranding 2's full picture is revealed? We can only eagerly await the game's June 26th release. For more on Death Stranding 2 and everything else to do with games, keep it right here on IGN.
Oshas, like you said before, I don't think that any of the trailers are going to give away what's actually going to happen in the movie. Sorry, not the movie, in the game. Sorry, Jesus, was that a Freudian slip? Anyways,
All I'm
uh,
thinking is that I heard a lot of woke references there. Is this game gonna be woke? Is this gonna be Kojima's first
what
woke
woke
game?
references? What
Hmm?
woke? As in, they're talking about Doge and stuff.
Yeah, like it's gonna be anti-Elon. The moment it's anti-Elon, it's woke. You
Did he
know,
say anti-Elon? No, I think he said there's references to Doge. I don't
there's
think it
bad
was.
guys that are built in the ilk of Doge. Huh? 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 Huh?
Listen, every government needs a regulation. In fact, every corporation organization needs someone or a team of people to regulate and control and make sure that the people within are, being efficient and all that other bullshit. Uh, what's
Mhm.
this? Oh my God, Oshis, Ty, you still crashing out in the comment section. God damn it, bro.
Oh,
God damn
jeez.
it.
Like,
All right. Uh, shit, Oshis just fell off. That was funny. Ty,
Everyone in the comment section agree with me though, so it's all good.
everyone agrees with you in the comment section. Okay.
Damn straight.
All right. Everyone thinks that Dustborn is the best thing that's ever happened to gaming.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ty, after everything we've seen here on Death Stranding, what are your thoughts on? Yeah, Fuzzy, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's fine. I blindly trust Kojima to put politics in games. If someone if someone knows how to do it properly, it's Kojima. All right. Um, Ty, what is your
Take.
oh my god, are you serious? Sapo Doge is actively removing checks and balances between powers. Yes, okay.
He's right.
Ty, listen, just like Dayreezy suggested, I am working on a separate podcast where we're going to talk about politics without limits. We're going to talk about movies, we're going to talk about wrestling, and there will be no limits. But here it's TSWS gaming. We can talk about politics around gaming, but we can't get too deep into it. All right. Ty, what are your final thoughts on Death Stranding after everything we've seen here?
There is no game that I think I've seen that the sequel has made me want to play it that much. I think this to me this seems like a huge jump. It seems it's taken the core of what people liked about the game, and it's made it
Mm-hmm.
more interesting, more diverse, more, I don't want to say more open, but it seems like there's just many different ways to tackle different environments while probably still keeping to the core. And I've seen that you don't always have to walk. Like you can actually maybe save up and build bridges and roadways and all these things,
Drive,
then drive.
highways.
So I think they've made the concept of being a delivery agent, whatever you want to call it, actually a lot more interesting than what it is. right? Because if somebody told you like, hey, you got to go from point A to B and you got to walk there, like, yeah, it can be interesting. But if I can, drive, you use a motorbike, bicycle, skateboard, if I have to like fight people in the process, and if you make this as interactive as much as possible, then I think you have something special. And this game really does look special. There's only been a few games that Sony has released as exclusive that has made me consider buying a PlayStation, and that was Final Fantasy and
Yeah.
this. That's it.
Which Final Fantasy remake, Rebirth?
Initially, I liked the idea of 16, but I saw the
Oh,
reviews and
okay.
didn't think it was great. But Rebirth was really like, okay, yeah, I think I want to play this game. So Rebirth and Death Stranding 2 has been the only two games that's made me actually really want to get a PlayStation. So, I mean, this is another good catch for them. So, well done. Hopefully it comes
So
soon.
you don't have a PlayStation?
No, I don't. I'm waiting for it to come on PC. If it comes on PC, I'll probably purchase it, to be honest.
Okay, okay. Um, Ushers, final thoughts on what we've seen here. This description from IGN after they had played 30 hours of Death Stranding 2.
But before that, I'm just surprised that an exclusive would make you want to buy a console. What a shock!
Oh my god, bro! Leave
But
Xbox
anyways,
alone for
back
one
to
episode,
IGN.
guy.
Back to IGN. I couldn't help.
Jeez.
Back to IGN. Yes. So what do I think about what I've seen? Look, the first goal sold me on the concept, like in regards to this and what it is. On paper, this is a horrible game in the sense that like no traditional gamer would want to play this. Like that's how a lot of people felt about the first game
Yes,
because it just goes against the grain in terms of what you expect from a big budget game from Hideo Kojima, from a
and
studio
yet,
like this. But once you play the first game, you get the idea. Like, okay, cool, I get what this guy is doing. And what I like about it, it's the first time someone. This is what Kojima did. He went and looked at like, and I'm just spitballing it. He went and looked at Steam, and he looked at like, okay, cool. So what sort of games do you have in the indie market? Imagine if we could make this type of game with a AAA budget. And I think a lot more AAA studios need to do that. Go find a concept, an indie concept, like Schedule One, and say, how do we turn this into a triple A blockbuster game just built around this concept? And this is what this is. This is, I think, to me, is the sort of concept, and I think more studios that have got established IPs that we've played to death need to start thinking like Kojima, like a creative that's seasoned, that's done almost everything in the industry, and that's lived through all the different eras. His mind in terms of like longevity is in the right place because he understands that being original and not just clinging to what the market wants. This is the same thing that who's this Miyamoto said, is that like if you ask the next guy what they want, they'll tell you they want the same thing that was made before or whatever was popular at the time.
mm-hmm.
As a creative, you really need to sort of like really stretch yourself and make the kind of games that you want to make because you believe there's something there. There's something, you create. And this is what he did here. Sold on the first one. I bought it the first time, like the moment it hit Xbox, bought it. I didn't get it on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass, no? No. But I bought it immediately. And the day
I
that
think
this,
it's on Game Pass. I think.
yeah,
Hold on. I think Death Stranding 1,
PC Game Pass.
right?
Yeah, never made it to Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
Same
It
use.
is on Game Pass.
is
It
it?
is on Game Pass. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
PC
bought
Game
it.
Pass.
I bought it on Game Pass, like on my Xbox. And when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to PC, I'm buying it the day one, because it's an experience. That's the thing with Hideo's games. Like it's an experience. It's
Not
something
just
that
another game you're gonna play, bro.
no, like it's not just another shooter. It's not just another ninja game or assassin game, whatever, or a third person
He could
shooter.
have made another MGS clone.
He could have.
He could have
He
done
could have
that.
just cloned, yeah, but he didn't. And I respect him for that. And it's worth like every single rand I spent on the first Dead Stranding is worth it, just because of the type of experience. It's unlike any other game that I have. It's not like popular contrary belief. It's not like Hellblade 2.
Ugh. Don't even
Everything that
start.
Hellblade 2 tries to do, this game I think succeed because the problem with Hellblade 2 is too heavy-handed in a lot of the things from the mechanics. Everything is heavy-handed. Everything is supposed to make you feel traumatized. So if you're into that, which is very few people are into that. Whereas this game, it's much more, once you just give it a chance and you play it, you really, it doesn't take that long for the gameplay loop to sort of like get stuck into you. And for
And
you
it's
to,
more of a video game than
Yeah, I think
Hellblade
that's the
2.
key thing right there. It's more of a video game.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Um,
add in all your auteur stuff, but you still have to remember what you're doing. This is not Hollywood. And Ty, to Osh's point, you know what, I he presented an interesting concept, which I'm curious about, and I'm not sure it will translate. Maybe you will obviously agree and say, yeah, it'll definitely translate. But Ty, do you think that if Schedule One, right, if it was bought by, let's say, Electronic Arts,
mhm,
and they were like, make Schedule Two. Here's a bunch of teams. Do you believe? I mean, especially considering how they've let Hazel Light cook, right?
mhm.
Do you believe that under the guidance and with the resources of a much bigger publisher, Schedule Two could maintain its integrity? Because that game is it's obscene, Chai. I don't know if you've seen like gameplay of it. It's not just, oh, you're selling drugs. It's some crazy shit. You can make drugs that make people like fart all over themselves. Some drugs make black people white. Some drugs make white people black. Some drugs make people explode,
Mhm.
literally blow up and die, and all types of stuff that could be seen as obscene by like AAA publishers. Do you think that under the guidance of an EA or Konami or any one of these big guys, or even Xbox or PlayStation, do you think a Schedule Two could ramp up, right, in terms of production value, but still maintain the heart and soul of what makes the schedule universe or the schedule
Mhm.
ethos or direction?
The answer to I think yes, for sure. But there's some layers here that I think is important because as soon as you start getting, you guys have heard of the word creep scope, right? Um,
Yes.
as soon as you
Or is
start
it, is it
getting
not scope creep?
scope creep, yeah, I think it's scope creep, yeah. I think when you give someone like this a lot of money,
And also respond to Sapo if you can.
okay, Schedule One wouldn't release under EA. Let's be serious for a minute. Yeah, it wouldn't. Um, that's true. I think it could have released under EA back in the days, in the same way how Take Two had games like
Oh
Bullet,
yeah.
so
Remember,
successful.
challenge everything. Remember
Yeah.
that? That was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So you're right. Schedule One wouldn't be released by EA today. I think the public image company maybe,
But what about Hazellight though?
but Hazelight is fun. Like it doesn't deal with drugs.
A Way Out had two convicts breaking out of prison.
But I think this game is about making drugs and selling it, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's about
Yeah,
actually
it's a
committing the
little bit
crimes.
more like you can see. Listen, if I'm a parent,
Rockstar.
if I'm a
Rockstar.
parent, yeah, but see,
What
if I'm a
about
parent,
Rockstar?
I'm suing EA already.
You're suing.
I'm trying my best to sue them already. Yeah, if they're making a game where my child can, my child is playing Schedule One and he's making drugs and selling it to people, I'm gonna say you inspire my kids to sell drugs or whatever it is. Like I'm doing something. It's just a little bit too taboo for a public limited company, I think. So they'll probably move away from it. But I do think if they got a bigger budget, and if I'm a publisher, I'm reaching out to this guy right now. Like I'm in a small time publisher, maybe Kepler or something.
Or
Like
Saber
don't
Interactive.
I'll say interactive, like someone who's not like that big, And I'm saying, yeah, listen, let's see what you can do here. But I'm also need to be wary
Mm.
of like him in the sense of like, are you gonna like can you handle a $10 million budget or 5 million or 20 million? You know what I mean?
From
Um,
your bedroom.
exactly. And also like honestly, I'm probably looking at him saying, you know what, we're gonna create a team for you and you can direct that team, but we also need somebody to manage you to make sure you're not like taking the piss. But yeah,
Mm.
to answer your question, yeah, I do think this sequel should get more funding, and I think if he's smart enough, and I think he is, he's gonna start hiring people himself to to make a sequel for this game.
So full on AAA, no, but big budget AA, yes.
Yeah, I'll say big budget double A for sure.
So like 10 million, 15, 20 million.
I don't even think it needs to be that much. I think 5 million might be okay. 4 million or so. You
I
know.
mean, this guy did in his bedroom, bro. So
Hmm.
yeah, you might be onto something there. You might be
Yeah.
onto something there. Davenport says mission creep. Rockstar got sued over hot coffee. Not just hot coffee. Rockstar got a whole bunch of lawsuits back in the day, but they kicked so much ass, people just gave up. Rockstar is like the Nintendo on defense though, because Nintendo will come for your ass. Rockstar will just sit there, but if you go for them, they'll get you. Big Mad Mo says, "Oh, be aware of what your kids are playing." That's fair. That's also fair.
No, very true.
You should be an active parent in what your kids are consuming.
Hmm.
Sapo, but I can see Devolver Digital, bro. Devolver Digital plus Schedule One, like Devolver Digital is the AAA publisher that's always taking a piss, and then you put them with the ultimate taking the piss game that came out this year. Magic. I can see like game of the year people accusing anyone not calling it game of the year like a fraud. I think they would make an awesome game. They would make a fantastic game. But yeah, that's Death Stranding. We also spoke about Doom. But Titkus Prime says that he did a quick review of Assassin's Creed. So let's head over to Batitkus's channel. I'm curious. Batitkus Prime. Ty, am I at the right channel?
Go up. Type in at Baticus crime, but put an underscore as well.
At
So at Baticus and then put underscore prime.
Batitkus underscore Prime.
I think to spell Baticus is
Okay.
BATIT
Yeah.
COUS.
Oh. OU. All right. We have found Batitkus Prime. Apparently, he reviewed Assassin's Creed recently. It's a 7 minute and 35-second video. Let's see. Let's see if he's glazing, right? Let's see if he's glazing these guys. Soma, welcome in. What up, y'all? Beware of IGN. Come on now. Don't be like that. Do not be like that, Soma. Come on. IGN is the best we've got so far. Polygon's gone. Kotaku will be gone soon. Just chill, bro. Let's enjoy IGN. Web Dave, what's happening, dog? Welcome. Everyone follow Web Dave's advice. Smash the like button. Smash it like your life depends on it. Smash it like it's a Kardashian. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I really should not. But let's get to Batitkus' video. Let's go.
We move unseen.
Hey everyone, I'm Baticus Prime, and welcome to my spoiler.
All right. Right off, I need to apologize because I've been calling him Batitkus Prime this whole time. It's Baticus Prime. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Baticus Prime, everyone.
Spoiler-free review of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay.
Now, after nearly 200 hours in this game, I can confidently
Golly, 200 hours.
Damn, that's a lot of grinding.
say it's one AC fans won't want to miss.
Really?
First, let's start with the world. Assassin's Creed Shadows is set in feudal Japan, a setting fans have dreamed about for years.
True.
And trust me, it delivers. The scenery, Sometimes it looks like it's straight out of a Hallmark postcard. From sweeping landscapes to bustling districts, the world feels alive, detailed, and worth exploring.
Nice microphone.
You'll play as two characters. Nawe, a young shinobi on a mission to honor her father's promise and protect their people in Japan. And Yasuke, a foreigner who becomes a powerful samurai with a mysterious backstory you'll uncover as you explore the game. You can switch between Nawe and Yasuke at almost any time, which gives the game dynamic pacing and variety in how you approach every challenge.
I agree with that.
All right, so that Switch kind of sucks. GTA gave us a proper Switch. All right, when it switches, you need to give us something new, something different. Right? Have her sleeping or something.
Now let's dive a little deeper. Gameplay wise, Shadows offers two distinct styles that fans of the franchise will recognize. Nawe focuses on stealth, traditional Assassin's Creed style.
Ninja
Her
shit.
shinobi skills shine when you take careful, calculated approaches
Nice.
when you're approaching every challenge or side objective. Or objective. Yasuke, on the other hand, he's a tank. His combat style echoes the brute force of, let's say, Valhalla, Origins, or even Odyssey. He can rush into battle with pure confidence by overwhelming enemies with his sheer power.
So you just spam buttons with Yasuke. Shit! He has a gun! Yasuke has a gun!
Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the objective.
I didn't get that far.
Assassin's Creed Shadows features both main and side objectives, as any RPG, of course. And I'll be real, some of the side missions can feel a little repetitive. But here's the thing. The more you get into the main story, and the more you interact with these characters, the more immersive the entire game becomes.
Can you confirm this time?
Yeah. I think there's some kind of filler missions, and then there are some really good ones that seem they were well thought out. But I was telling Baticus Prime as well that the
Baticus.
Baticus Prime as well.
Yeah,
The issue,
bro.
what a name! Baticus Prime.
The name is fine. It's just the spelling. It kicked. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I told him that the same thing that Shadow suffers from this idea of like you can do anything you want at any time. It shouldn't be. The main story should be like you have to kill this guy, then that person, that person. That just makes the story more cohesive because it's just kind of random that like they're like, okay, it has 20 people or whatever, kill them in any order you want. That doesn't lead well to a good story. So that's my only critique.
Okay. So you kind of lost like the agency and the rhythm for the main story.
Yeah, and this is a large game where you can do many missions, and I think Baticus mentions as well that you're going to get sidetracked because there are a lot of things to do in this game. I think Ushers is right when he says like Odyssey is really good. I think Odyssey has more interesting things to do in the game. I think even Valhalla has more interesting things to do in the game. Like they kind of focus on the mini games and all these things.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I would say like those games are better, but Shadows just feels more. It feels better put together. I'll say that.
Okay. Yasuke sorry, Rishi says Yasuke is all about rap, guns, and watermelons. Totally not racist. Listen. I don't think that's racist at all.
Watermelons, guns.
Wait, I mean, are we joking here?
Listen, he's a foreigner. He's a foreigner, Oshus. Even if he was a white samurai, he'd probably be wielding guns.
Watermelons
rap?
and rap.
Wait, who says? Wait, I don't know if this is a joke or like what? What do you mean rap watermelon? Like I'm kind of confused here.
I don't know, man. Does rap music play when you're using Yasuke?
No,
Ty?
it's so minimum. Like there's it's
All
not
right,
even rap.
fine.
It's like maybe trappish kind of beats, but
Yes, it does, and there's watermelons in the game.
All right, we're not gonna give this oxygen. Uh, Fuzzy says I did not enjoy using the gun. The side missions were basically basically exactly what I wanted them to be, even if they were somewhat repetitive. I just want to point out something very curious here, guys. Little Wayne said this, and I don't know if he was the first one who said it. He said, "Repetition is the father of learning." As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with a game being repetitive in certain aspects, especially side missions and whatever. If you go back, I know it's the sacred cow. I know it is. But if you go back and you play Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, if you really want to check each and every single mission, they're pretty repetitive in how you go through the corridors.
Look, it's Mass Effect.
Oh, stop it. I'm not American. Um, my favorite RPG, for me, one of the goats of all time, Cyberpunk. You know what? If you really want to boil it down, Cyberpunk is also very repetitive, especially if you want to do what I do every single time I play Cyberpunk, which is I play all the side missions, all the little tasks, the NCPD stuff, the mercs. I do everything before I even touch the main story. So obviously, I'm always over leveled when I get to the main story, but that's besides the point. The point is, a game being repetitive is not a bad thing. All right, you just have to find the loop. And lastly, to bring it all around, Starfield, very repetitive. I've put in days into Starfield. I still haven't finished the campaign, but I love going on a random mercenary mission, going to take down a dude in some cave or in some facility. And guess what, bro? It's almost the exact same thing I did the first time. It's just over level. The dude has higher levels, and my guns do more damage. That's pretty much it. But the loop is so good. There's nothing wrong with repetitive gameplay. Can I get a hell yeah from Oshus and Tai?
I don't
Nothing?
know. I don't know about that. No.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm so indifferent.
Yeah, I don't know where you came up with
Like, the
that.
thing is with like
You
like
guys don't.
no,
What?
I don't agree with you. Like, and again, there's nothing inherently wrong in what you're saying. The thing is the gameplay loop. If the gameplay loop is addictive, people won't mind if it's repetitive.
Exactly.
But if it
Exactly.
becomes monotonous after you've been maybe did it two or three times, then repetitiveness is not serving the purpose for your games. The same thing that I said to you about South of Midnight is that the problem with them is that their gameplay loop is so repetitive and it doesn't have anything to break that repetitiveness up, or it doesn't evolve. Like, there's all combat happens the same way in a almost
Yeah, they're easy.
exactly the
Just
same.
silent. Go ahead. Go ahead, Oshus.
So, like, for me, repetitiveness is only useful if you can harness it correctly. In other words, you have a repetitive
So
loop,
you
but
guys agree with me?
in certain aspects, but not
Because
just
the games I brought up, their
racing
loops
games
are
are repetitive, right? You
no,
do the same
Oshus.
thing.
Yeah, and also the games that I brought up: Starfield, Cyberpunk, Mass Effect. These are
So I
games that
think I think the
everyone
But they
can
break
agree
that
that
loop up very
their loops
nicely.
are awesome.
yeah, but I would say
But they break
Cyberpunk
it up.
has a lot of variety in its gameplay. Like the reason why people go back to Skyrim is because of that, like fire, sword, arrows, dragon. Like there's so many things you can do and very, very, varied ways to play. Cyberpunk gives that as well. In a game like
Same with
Assassin's
Mass Effect.
Creed, not so much. Now maybe with the new one Shadows, yeah, because you can play as Yaska, you can play as Nawe, but
Here's your variety. Let's go.
yeah, there's your variety right there. But you need to get the gameplay loop right, and
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
don't
why.
think they got it right in Assassin's Creed. I don't think they got it right in this one.
No, no, I think they've done a good job as Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like the
You think?
weapons, yeah, the weapon choices are very different and they're good. They've kind of focused. They're not giving you like 10 weapons. They're giving you like three well detailed weapons that play differently, right? And Yasuke has a
Mm.
gun, he has an arrow, and they'll have different special abilities. And they allow you to respec anytime you want. So that means that you don't have to go looking for whatever some kind of maybe sorry, like saving up to respect. You can just do it on the fly, and I think that actually allows you to experiment more and actually improves the gameplay loop. So yeah, I would say Assassin's Creed does a decent job at it, but not as good as like maybe like a Cyberpunk, like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Rach. Yeah. Or Mass Effect. Rachie. Yes. We all play as a stealth archer in Skyrim.
Mm,
Enchanted Arms. That was a good one. That's a nice little gem. That's a good shout, Big Medmo. Damn.
mm.
I wasn't
Well,
expecting that.
two games that came to my mind from a loop, like Hellblade 2, like that game has nothing like from a gameplay loop. Like I don't know why you want to play that game again. The combat is just
Dude, I don't want to play it, Ty. I don't want to play it.
why are you playing it?
Matt Likes Games paid a super chat, right? And according to the rules, I had to play the game because he paid it.
Oh man, okay. Like that game is just like you know for a fact when the developers, I don't want to say taking the piss, but like they've just kind of lost themselves in their own art sauce
Taking the piss.
when they literally reduced the gameplay mechanics for the sequel. Like that's just like
Hmm.
bizarre to me. They took away the kick and multiple enemies on screen because they wanted it to feel more cinematic. Like what a joke.
Ron Slasher, stop it. He says, I like it. Stop it, Ron. That's not funny. Let's get back to Baticus Prime's review of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's go.
Honestly, I found myself getting so caught up in the side quests or side objectives with Nawe that I didn't even unlock Yasuke for hours into the game.
Wow. Yo, and look at this outfit. You can
Yeah,
tell
that's a
a
really
ho-
cool robe.
you can tell the homeboy's been playing this game. Like he's doing nothing else. There's no other game that he's been playing, just this. It's a very cool robe.
Yeah, I don't have this.
Definitely.
Mm, gangster.
Now let's talk about the skill tree.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Assassin's Creed would not be a true RPG without a skill tree, right? Both characters have their own individual skill tree, which increases the depth of each character's gameplay. Naoi's upgrades focus more on her stealth by boosting her tools, her assassination, and shinobi tactics.
Because she's the real assassin,
Yeah.
just in case anyone was wondering.
Also, increasing I guess you can say, the all around stats of her weapons from the katana, tanto to the kurosarigama. Now, Yasuke gets improvement for his long katana, kanabo, naginata, bow, and even his tempo.
Naginata, you said, Baticus Prime. All right. I see you with the Japanese pronunciations. He didn't even stutter. Okay. Okay.
His samurai tree also boosts his, I guess you can say, stances and physical attributes.
Mm.
Both characters also have a knowledge tree, which boosts their passive abilities all around. And you can increase this tree, or I guess you can say you can invest more points into this tree even after finish the game or the main story.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the loot. Loot lovers, you're in luck. There's so much gear to collect that at a certain point, I care more about the aura than the gear itself.
Ooh, this was nice.
Care more about the aura
Hold on.
than the
Fellas, this is pretty. Right? Can we agree? That's a nice outfit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is one thing, like, because when people were talking about this game in a negative light, like, oh, microtransactions, I want this costume, it's like, bro, there's so many things in the game that you can just get without even going to the shop. Like, it's just a ridiculous. And then, like,
Just
this
play the
outfit,
game.
you can get this. You can get many costumes in this game.
Man.
I have a good bit that I just don't care about because, whatever reason. But yeah, the game has a lot of loot.
And can you do transmog?
Yes, you can.
That would inspire you to make like different outfits and stuff.
Mhm.
It's awesome. Vince says Ubisoft, such a waste of a lifetime. Oh my god, stop it.
than the gear itself. Yes, gear comes with talent and stat boosts, of course. But once I found the status effects that I liked, I was more so focused on the look at how Nawe and Yasuke appeal to me
Yeah.
more than the attributes themselves. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the gear and the battle pass. You unlock gear by completing main missions and side missions, of course. But there's also these tenshus or castles and side objectives that are side objectives. And
Side objectives that are side objectives?
Yeah,
What?
I'll say this. I hate the castle missions. No, like, so what the game
Okay.
does is that they'll tell you like, oh, there's 5 paper that you have to go find in this dojo like castle. So you have to go like,
Okay.
looking for it, and it irritates me because you need these points to get to level 2 or level 3 of your
Mm-hmm.
leveling up tree abilities. So the best way to do it is just to go on YouTube and just find out, okay, for the Tagachi Castle or whatever it is, and where are all the papers you need to find. It's a very irritating thing to do, like to make me go looking for these things. I wish there was other ways I could actually just like level up
Mm.
without it. So that's my one critique of the game.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Dairy, stop with the hate. Stop it.
random enemies that you find in the world that also drop gear. Now, the Battle Pass. This has sparked some controversy, especially because players can spend real money. But here's the thing,
Okay.
it's completely optional.
Optional.
Nothing that Ubisoft has forced upon us
Hold on. Why is Yasuke's ass popping?
to spend real money.
Fellas, look at this. Why is his ass popping?
Only you caught
But
that.
here's the thing, it's completely
Listen, look at this, boys. It's like he's farting. Look, look, look. Pop, pop,
optional.
pop, 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 pop.
Nothing
Why is his ass popping? I need answers.
He's
Baticus Prime.
he's twerking, bro.
Baticus. Why? Baticus. I want an answer from you, Baticus. Give me an
He's
answer.
clapping, man. He's clapping for
Why
his fans.
why is why is Yasuke's ass popping in
He's
your
clapping
video?
loud hands for his fans.
Rachie says too much Taco Bell. Stop it, Rachie. Stop it. Baticus, why is his ass popping? Give us an answer. Come on. Come on. Day Reezy is also waiting. He says LOL. Let's go, bruv. Why is his ass popping? One more time. Why you give us a
thing.
response?
It's
Watch.
completely
Pop, pop,
optional.
pop, pop, pop,
Nothing
pop. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Betting is trying to stay professional. Says I'm changing multiple fits. Sure, bud. Sure. I don't look like that when I'm changing fits.
thing.
My ass ain't popping,
It's completely
right? Look at the pop,
optional.
pop, 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 pop.
Nothing
Dude, Cardi B would be impressed with all that popping. I'm just saying. Richie says too much low quality American food. Fuzzy, if you go to a different country and completely change your diet, you would probably have stomach problems. You know what? It's probably the Japanese food going through him very fast. It's true. It's true. Those are charms changing. Oh, okay, Baticus. All right. Rizzi says he's not dropping it like it's hot. He's letting it down like it's warm.
You guys are- oh, geez.
All right.
that Ubisoft has forced upon us as
One more time. I'm sorry.
But
One more
here's the
time.
thing, it's completely optional. Nothing that Ubisoft has forced upon us as players that makes us think or believe that, hey, if I don't buy this with real money right here and now, that I'm gonna miss out. Keep in mind, everything that's on the Battle Pass, you can
That is a sexy katana. That's very nice. It's very nice.
keep in mind, everything that's on the Battle Pass, you can unlock from in-game currency you find in the game. So, you don't have to spend your hard-earned cash to basically beat the game. You can experience AC Shadows how you want without spending a dime or any more so that you spent on the game itself. Here are my closing thoughts.
Okay.
Wrapping up, Assassin's Creed Shadows is fantastic.
Fantastic.
In my opinion, it's the best one out of the entire series. If
Oh my god. Oh my guy. Come on. The entire series,
That's certainly an opinion.
bro. Like I was with this review.
Oh man. As soon as I
If
heard that, I
you're
was
a
like,
long
yeah, that's gonna be something.
Oh, so you agree with him, Ty?
No, no, no. If you say it's the best one of the newer games, I think
He
that's an okay
said
take.
the entire
I know, yeah. He said entire
series.
series. I'm like, well, now you're talking about Assassin's Creed 2. Now you're talking about
3,
3. You
Brotherhood,
talk about Brotherhood. Like,
Revelations,
man, there's a lot of
Black Flag.
and all fans ain't gonna be happy with that statement anyway because they hate the
Origins.
Origin, yeah, Origins as well, and even like because also you were talking about Odyssey, and like it seems Odyssey does have its like following as well. So yeah, I think people are going to push because as good as
Both.
Shadows is, it's more
Yeah.
complete, but it's I think it misses a few things that the other games had, but it's more complete.
I mean, both of those other games have 40 million players each.
Hmm.
Odyssey and Origins, which I'm not surprised because those are brilliant, brilliant Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, you could buy those games
Gent-
and just like play them for like 5 years straight. Like there's just so much
yes,
to
Yeah,
do there.
yeah,
yes,
no,
you could
absolutely.
legit,
That's the
legit.
only game you could own and you'd be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and people,
you could go
as much
back.
as people like, because Ubisoft they did a really good job with Valhalla and updating it with DLCs and all these things. So, I mean, they get credit for supporting their games anyway. I don't know if you guys have seen like they've been
They do.
updating some of their old games as well to like
Yep,
60 FPS and shit like that.
Yeah,
Far Cry
yeah,
4. No, like I've
it,
always said that Ubisoft is great at supporting their games post launch. They're very, very consistent at that.
Mm.
They've done it for their multiplayer games. They've done it for their single player games.
Lost Crown, I think they gave a good update as well recently for it.
Of which one?
Lost Crown, Prince of Persia, even though like they were
Oh
like
yes, yeah.
we making
oh
it
yeah,
Oh,
part
yeah, I
two.
saw that as well.
Yeah.
they
I
don't
saw that as
abandon like
well.
the only games that I know that they've abandoned is like Extraction. It's like the most recent games, but like with Ubisoft, traditionally they had this culture and they've got the staff to do it. Where
Mm.
even if a game doesn't launch well, they will support it until it gains the audience that they believed it had. The only games that like I don't see that happening with it, they're like their latest releases, like Outlaws, Extraction, and a lot of these kind
XT5.
of games. Yeah, like a lot of the games that they're releasing now, they don't give that sort of support anymore, or sort of like back, which is a shame, man. Because when they do that, their games eventually go on to succeed.
Yeah, yeah. Because then you create like faith within the customer
Yeah,
base, and then things start to move forward. But yeah, Baticus Prime in the comment section says I did that on purpose. That's some good bait, bro. That is some very good bait. Keep doing what you're doing. Fuzzy says I agree with him, but I've never played more than a few hours of the other AC games. I could never get into them. All right, at least you have one person that agrees with you. Dairy says that's BS. Big Mad Mo says Valhalla better than Odyssey. Prince of
no,
Persia is
it's
fire.
not.
Yes, yes, Mo. Uh, it's some premium grade bait, bro. No, no doubt. I'm sure your comment section, one or two people will be like, "What the what?" And then they'll tag someone else, and then the whole thing can pop. So you know what? Premium bait.
longtime fan, you'll feel right at home. It's the best one out of the entire series.
One more time. One more time.
In my opinion, it's the best one out of the entire series. If you're a longtime fan, you'll feel right at home. And if this is your first time
Uh
picking
huh.
up an AC game, don't worry. You'll find your footing quickly and have a great time. I promise. My all-around rating, I'm gonna give AC Shadows a 9.5 out of 10. I promise.
What?
It's a really good game.
Uh, all right. That's Ty. You're the only one here who's finished it. So go ahead. Do you agree?
Um, no, not 9.5 out of 10. I would say right now it's sitting at an 8.5 for me.
8.5.
8.5. It could go down to an 8 because I think based on the story, if the story remains consistent, it gets an 8.5. If it kind of dips a bit, and I heard some people say like it's not as strong, then it could go down to an 8. But it's a solid game. Like there's nothing bad about this game whatsoever.
Okay. Sapo says it's his opinion, and also in fairness, Shadows didn't have a single bug. Number one, that's his opinion. This is our opinion. Number two, having or not having bugs doesn't really fall into the equation. Bethesda games have gotten high ratings forever, but people call them Bug Thesda. Dustborn, I didn't see any bugs. Guess what? Still a shit game. Uh, Fuzzy, what's this? He's a jester. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, true, exactly. But Titkus, it's your opinion. I made for people to share theirs. Definitely this one, Baticus, we disagree. Definitely disagree. Oshus, did you even play
Yo,
this? Like, I
no,
at least gave it about 6 hours. Did you even give it a go?
no, like
All
how?
right,
No ways, bro.
all right. But
I'm
do you
just
agree
like,
with this 9.5 from what you've seen and heard? Do you
no, like there's
9.5?
no, there's no. The problem with this game is that like regardless how excellent it is, and I saw this with Far Cry games, regardless how
Mm-hmm.
excellent or polished your game is, if it's more of the same of what you did before, it's just not gonna come off as a 9.5 because we've been there, done that a year ago, 2 years ago.
Careful with Death Stranding. Careful, because what you just said
No,
could
it's
be
not
applied
the
to
same
Death Stranding
thing.
2, and it'll be. Dude, we were just saying it's more of what
No,
we've done or of what we got before. Is is that not what we said?
no,
With
it's not
just
the same thing.
improvements. How is it not the same, Marcius?
So first of all, like, when's the last time you got a Death Stranding game?
Ah, so it's the time frame that's
No,
the
like, and
main.
again, like, this is the thing. Like, look, like, you like to like narrow down things to a single thing. No, it's like multiple things
Ah,
matter because there's a lot of people. This is not one person's opinion. It's not just my opinion. I'm just talking about like generally how this is received by people. Is that I thought Far Cry 6 was a great game. It was an
mm-hmm.
amazing Far Cry game because the last Far Cry I played was Far Cry 3, and I'm like, wow, they've built on everything from Far Cry 3, and it's like so much better. And then a friend of mine like just point out of the fact like, oh, by the way, there's Prime, there's all these there's like 10 other games in between that are exactly more or less the same thing. So you don't really have a special product, you don't really have something that you can learn. And this is just, I'm speaking for myself.
It's like FIFA
You-
then, you know. It comes out
exactly.
every year, so like even though like I mean for me the one of the best FIFAs I played was the one where I took a 3 year break or 4 year break and I was like blown
Exactly.
away by like how good it was.
Yeah,
But for everyone else it was like meh,
it's the same
incremental
thing we got
upgrades.
last year.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the problem, is that like I really think franchises like Assassin's Creed need to be given time to breathe. Stop trying to squeeze every single, like, you guys are trying so hard to be like freaking Rockstar and GTA. You're trying to make these open world games with all these things, but you don't understand the fact that when's the last time you had a GTA game? It was 2013. Fuck, like 2013. What was the Assassin's Creed that was out in 2013, bro?
But I see.
Black
I think
Flag.
fans don't want to. I think the fans obviously don't want these games. You know, as much like you might not want it, but you know, the sales says that like fans are actually ready for like another one. Now I saw Ubisoft's comment about like, oh, you know, two mainline Assassin's Creed games in the last like maybe in the next 7 years. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like 3.5 years each. That's a joke. I think Assassin's Creed games are big enough. There's a lot of content in them that you could space those games out to every
Yes,
5 or 6 years. I think is actually okay. 6 or 7 years even. I
bro.
think Shadows has time. You know, just keep updating it. I mean, we know they're gonna bring the multiplayer co-op mode, right? Bring the co-op mode, bring multiplayer, and maybe even go from 2 player co-op to 4 player co-op. Like keep doing these things to improve the game, and then maybe in 3 years' time, some maybe IGN does a re-review and says, yeah, we gave it an 8 last time, but like there's so much now that it's a 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't think they need to bring out another Assassin's Creed game in the next 3 to 4 years. That just kind of
Make
like devalues a franchise.
make people miss your franchise. Make people miss your mechanics and etc. etc. And I just feel that like, especially because this is not a sports game. Like sports and racing games, you can afford to do this thing of just almost releasing them
Because
every
we
single.
actually need a WRC game every year. We actually need
Yeah.
that for
So
real.
that's fine. And then like that's cool. But like my thing is with games like this, because of the fact that like how finite the gameplay is and the loops are and how creative you can get with them, you need your teams to take time to sort of come up with new, innovative, creative ideas. And you really need to sort of like lean into this thing of like, okay, cool. What's happening in the indie? Like what's happening in these other like Don't just look at like what EA is doing and what Microsoft is and all the other niggas just like you are doing. Like that's not gonna give you anything. You're not gonna gain anything from that because they're gonna make exactly the same shit that you're making. And guess what that is today? It's fucking live services. The most benign, like stupid execution of like I don't get the whole
They
concept. Oh,
probably made bank. They probably made bank with this option to give people to buy games to buy
but if that
things.
was the case, they wouldn't have to now off section parts of the company, rename this,
No,
jump
no.
through.
I would say the reason why they had to sell everything that they had to sell was not because of Assassin's Creed. They've been having duds for years now.
Mhm.
And why
So
is that?
this is something that it wasn't caused by Shadows. It was caused by past performance. That's all it was. Even if Shadows made bank, which I think it did, I don't think it was enough to offset all the years of losses.
But like my
In my
point is
opinion.
like why is that? Is because you're trying to make one of these and you're trying to put these people under pressure to produce one of these every 2 years. Like you like stuff like these games are expensive to make. They take effort, they take resources, and at the same time they just don't get in terms of like that wow factor. You don't get the same rate of return as like something like when a Legend of Zelda comes out
Or Death Stranding.
or Dead Stranding or any of those,
Or even Doom, dude. Because
or
when
even
Doom
Doom,
comes out
bro.
in
Exactly.
general for everyone, no one's going to be talking about anything else. Like by
Exactly.
Friday, it's over, bro. By Friday, it's over. It's Doom World.
This franchise needs the sort of treatment where if you care about Assassin's Creed, stop making them for like 5 years. Don't tell anyone. Don't announce 20 Assassin's Creed games fucking coming out. Like that's another thing. Like why? Like you
Did
announce
you
like
see
there's
that
10
report?
games
Did you
we're
see
working
that?
on. Ugh. Bro, just say you got shadows. You're not getting anything until we tell
Guys,
you it's coming.
people are begging on hands and knees for another Splinter Cell. People are
Bro,
begging. We will pay $80 for another Splinter Cell. We'll do it.
we'll
But
suck
we're
your.
only gonna get another Assassin's Creed next year. That's all we're gonna get.
People will suck things for Splinter Cell, bro. Like for
Vince says the best people left years ago to make Clay Obscure, and that I hope that's
Is a
not true,
lie.
Vince.
that's two people, bro.
That's
Like
a
that.
lie.
I hope it's not
But a
true.
lot of people did leave to go to other studios and do other shit from Ubisoft because it's just to me this thing where once you refine something to such a corporate level that's like an EA or an Ubisoft or a Microsoft or even a Sony
Hmm.
at this point, the creativity gets squeezed out so much of that everyone is just now making a block or a piece of something. The art and like the drive behind making something that is alive is not there
Hmm.
anymore. We're making a franchise now. It's the franchise, and the only people that can make a franchise and give it a soul for some reason seems to be Rockstar.
Ah, no, fuck Rockstar with their 10, 20 year development cycle. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
It
No, no, no,
works.
no, no, no.
How
So
many?
Dude,
the I
I
think
don't
where I
want
just
everyone
disagree
else
is that
following Rockstar.
a lot of these developers are right. They did leave and they went to go create their own new studios, and we saw a massive jump in developers being developer studios being created, and more people were joining the industry. But just because you left your studio because they were holding you back, aka EA, Ubisoft, or whatever, doesn't mean you will succeed. And in fact,
Hmm.
a large portion of didn't succeed. Callisto Protocol is an example. He left EA, went to go do his own thing, and game flopped. I mean, Mortals of Avium as well. That's a guy who was working for Activision. Hey, developers or
Flopped.
publishers are evil, flopped as well. And we could keep going on and off with all these games. Even the like, and even small developers are trying to make like double age kind of games. Banishers was one, kind of flopped a little bit as well. So we can name a lot of these games that like people are like, oh, no big publishers telling us what to do anymore, and then your game flops, and now you're like, oh shit, we gotta close down. Um, what's the guy who made Ori now? He's literally saying like, yo, we wanted to be independent. Big publisher telling us what to do, and they got their independence, and now they're making a game. They make updates that they felt that they wanted to make to their own game. Fans don't like it. Now they're like, downvoting the game and review bombing on Steam or whatever. And he's coming out
Every
saying, if y'all keep doing this, we might close down because there ain't nobody bankrolling us no more. I was like, yeah, this is like there's a reason why these developers go to these big publishers for it's because of that security. Sometimes it works like really well, like Club Obscure, and sometimes it doesn't work, like Immortals of Avium.
I
Yeah,
would
but I
say
mean, like
more times than not, it doesn't work,
it
It
doesn't
doesn't
work.
work. No, it doesn't.
But like,
which is messed up to say, but I think eight or seven times out of ten, it flops.
I mean, Larian is a studio as well. Like Larian, they have a very interesting story because I think they nearly shut down twice, and
It
even
almost flopped. It
yeah,
almost didn't come out, right?
no, yeah,
well,
they nearly like
before
shut
that,
down
they
twice.
had Original Sin. That they whatchamacallit, they fundraised for Original Sin and
The first
Original Sin.
original sin, I think, in the process of even making it, I can't remember the story too well, but I think they had to let go of a lot of employees before that game came out. And once they did that, it was actually the Steam sale that really boosted their game because it was selling okay. But then once the Steam sale happened, people were like, okay, it's quite cheap. Let me give it a shot. So even they have a history of nearly, going bankrupt.
Yeah,
Obsidian as well is another studio that
You know
nearly got
what?
bankrupt
Fuzzy
as well.
Fuzzy brings up a good point. This is not exactly a terrible cycle. Someone works at a big company and develops a reputation, so he or she can build his or her own studio. It's nothing to complain about. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, yeah, dude,
Exactly.
this kind of keeps the blood fresh, you know. It kind of keeps. This is how we keep the industry going by Oshus working at Ubisoft for 10, 15 years, learning his craft and whatever, and then learning how to lead a studio. And then Oshus is like, I'm going to give it a go. And then everyone knows who Oshus is. And they're like, you know what? We're going to fund Oshus and give him a chance. And then who knows? Maybe Oshus is the next Kojima, you know? Or maybe he's not Kojima. Maybe he's Joseph Ferris and he's going to make solid games that have interesting ideas. And then he can keep on going. And maybe Loke tries the same thing and fails. And then maybe Taya tries and fails. It's still a good cycle for the customer, in my opinion. It's not terrible. It's
And
not
my
terrible.
only additional comment to that is that
Yeah.
cycle has been present since gaming. So when people
So that's
say,
it.
"Well, gaming sucks now," it's boring. It's like, no, 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 no. We don't need a
It
reset. We don't
doesn't
need a
suck, bro.
change. The
It
we
actual
doesn't
need
suck.
several
cycle, the
resets.
actual
Oh,
cycle has been
fuck.
there since day
All right.
one.
Let's finish
In
this
fact,
review so we
just to
can
finish,
plug.
just
Let
to
the
finish my,
gaming
hold on, wait, hold on,
industry
wait. Metal Gear, the
burn.
people who made Call of Duty left EA because they didn't want to make Metal Gear, not Metal Gear, sorry, Medal of Honor anymore. Like that is how Call of Duty got created. It's the
Done.
exact same cycle.
Done. All right. Let's finish this review and plug Baticus Prime's channel. I almost called him Batitkus again.
Yes, you
Jeez.
do.
Dude, you should have corrected me at some point in the pod, bro.
So,
It's all good.
like I said, this is my spoiler-free review, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you stayed around all the way to the end, I greatly appreciate it. To catch me live, you can always catch me Mondays and Wednesdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Once again, that's Mondays and Wednesdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Batticus_prime. Kick.com/Batticus-prime. Or, right here at YouTube /@Batticus_prime. Once again, I appreciate everybody that came through and stuck around. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. This is Batticus Prime, and I'll catch you on the live stream. Peace.
All right.
They keep
That's
it looks good
Baticus
actually,
Prime.
doesn't it?
It does. It does.
But
The gameplay looks really good. Like I don't know how somebody watches this and think like boring gameplay.
Basicus, I just gave you a sub. No, it's the scales 314. Is that the page it's in? I think so. It's gaming stuff, so I think it is you. Well, I'm not sure.
Looking for his channel.
Yeah.
It's Batticus_prime.
Oh, okay. So this is another dude. Let
Yeah,
me
so put
unsubscribe.
at Baticus_Prime and then follow.
Yeah, there's a Beticus Prime here with like Dragon Ball Z stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
huh?
saw that. I was thinking, I don't think it's him.
No, it's not this one.
Voidlock says some devs kill their own games by doing the opposite of what the fans wanted. That's why Ori Studio is struggling. Dude, it's the universal rule, man. The customer is always right, brother. But Baticus, we are the ones who thank you. Thank you so much for making that review. Thank you for sharing it out. And yeah, man, constructive criticism. I would say lower the volume a little bit on the gameplay. It sounded like your mic was competing with the gameplay itself on some parts where it got loud. And also, that's pretty much it. It was a pretty good review. You looked at almost everything. And the hot take, nice, nice. I mean, you triggered me. You triggered me, brother. Oshis, any comments for Baticus Prime?
Nah, I just left a comment now on his YouTube channel. Awesome, awesome work, Beticus. Like most people underestimate just like how much effort goes into making any video. So whenever I
Yeah,
see
man.
someone do something like an actual full-on review, I really, really respect that. And yeah, man, keep it up. Soon you'll have 5, you'll have 10, and you'll have 20 reviews. But yeah, excellent work, bruv. It's your opinion, and yeah, that's all. That's that's the only thing that we all have is just our opinions,
And
and
that's why people could go and watch. Yeah,
exactly because they want to hear what you have to say. So I thought you
exactly.
really sort of like presented very, very valid reasons why, from your perspective, it's the best out of the Assassin's Creed games. Keep up the good work.
All right. Ty, any comments on Baticus Prime's video?
No, good video. It's just one of those ones where you're always gonna keep getting better. The more videos you make, the better you get at criticizing, analyzing. So yeah, there's nothing to say. I enjoyed the video. I left a comment as well. So well done.
All right, fellas, I can't believe. Actually, I can't believe it. Almost every time we do a pod, I set the target for 2 hours, then we're stuck here for three. It just happens. But yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the super chats. Please make sure to smash the like button on your way out. Share it out if you're seeing this after. If you're watching the VOD, we really do appreciate your continued support and patronage to TSWS. And yes, even just leaving a comment, that is part of patronage. Oshus, plug your
Yeah.
channel, tell people they can find you, what you're up to, etc.
So I am on Facebook on Xbox Players South Africa or XPSA.
Ew.
Yeah, South Africa's biggest Xbox channel. I'm on YouTube as Oz the Wiz or Oshas07, same as on this platform. No new content yet, but yeah, I'm definitely working on stuff slowly, super slowly, but one day.
Progress. Progress.
Yes, man, progress.
Yeah. Ty, plug your channel, tell people they can find you, etc.
You guys can find me at Tayo Talks, TAYATALKS. Everything I was doing is on pause because Club Skill Expedition. Wait, Expedition
33.
33 Clubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
whatever.
just go with Expedition
You're
33,
on the
bro.
right track.
33.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm kind of engrossed into that stuff. I kind of know what I want to know what's going to happen next. So I don't really care
Yeah.
about anything else. In fact, I was like, should I just call in sick today? Tell look like, back off, bro.
What?
Like, I'll talk to you later. See you next week. But
That,
I'm like, I haven't spoken talking about games in a while, so yeah, let's do it, and then I'll
damn.
get to clear up skill later on tonight.
Damn. This guy wants to leave us hanging because of Clear Obscure. That's wild, man. That's wild. Okay. All right. Thank you once again to everyone. I will be streaming Hellblade tomorrow. It is what it is. What's this? Vince says last minute leak PlayStation drops Stellar Blade PC date with PC trailer June 11th. Did we already know this? Didn't we already know that
What's
it's
that?
going to be so?
Yeah, I think there was a clip
Yeah, Stellar
last
Blade.
month.
I'm pretty sure we got this a couple
Yeah,
of weeks
yeah, no,
ago.
no, yeah. Like I pre-ordered it on Steam. I'm
Yeah.
getting everything. I've saved money for that game. Like if it's
Have
$500,
you saved?
I'm paying $500 for that game. Like
Have you
if it's
saved? Have you saved lube for that
uh,
game, Cautious? Have you saved lube?
bro, I've got all the jelly. What is it called? Like all the what's
Alright.
your boy stuff?
Water-based lubricants, sir.
Yes, I've got all the KY jelly. Is it KY jelly? Is that what's it called?
No, man, not KY is dude. That's pharmaceutical stuff. I'll
No,
send you a
KY
screenshot
jelly. That's what it's
of the
for, bro.
proper
Like
stuff.
what do you
No, no, no,
use?
no, no,
The problem is you
dude.
use Johnson. That's your
I
problem.
have the proper stuff, sir.
What?
Dude, don't be comparing me to Diddy.
Same.
Don't be comparing me to Diddy. Uh, what's this? Big Memo says Clear Obscure is a paint term. But yes, that game is fire. What does paint term mean? I don't know what that means. Is that like an American
It's
thing?
French stuff. I'm sure.
Okay. Richie says you're gonna use hot sauce for lube, and Mo's
Uh,
got yep.
man.
Mo's got your back, Oshis. How many
Well,
bottles is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bottles. You're
I'm
good.
getting
You're
all the
good, Oshis.
bottles. I'll even buy Viagra for this shit. Yeah.
Oh my. All right. On that note, but y'all make sure to tune in tomorrow. I will be streaming Hellblade. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.
They said we said, they said we said, they said we said, they said we said.